Welcome, Internet, to the Play Some Video Games podcast. It's your boy, Dad Ninja Dev, joined as always by Donnie, Eat the Hype Reese, the not PG1 Mr. Delvin Cox, and all the way from SoCal himself, Internet famous Chaufie.
Podcast legend.
Podcast legend? Yeah, there it is. What's up? What's popping?
What's good? What's going down, everybody? It's a great evening tonight. We got a new Kendrick Lamar that dropped. So, you know, he's not done fucking with people. Definitely academics. He is about to die.
Oh, what's up, SA?
Orale, SA. On the way.
You're looking like a cholo from Grand Theft Auto.
Just waiting for him to stand up with the long socks.
Yeah, I'm out here in Los
Santos.
I gotta say, like, hold on, let me do some push-ups right now.
Well, he got somebody in his basement.
Neighborhood is right outside.
Not the garage. I get wild like echo when I'm in my wife's office, so I've been trying out the garage lately, which sounds a lot better. Also, it's a lot cooler in here, so that's kind of what I've been going with. And then
how is it cooler in the garage?
It's California. I don't question it anymore.
Yeah, I don't know how it works.
You know what? She just gets sunlight all day long that just heats the hell out of that room, and then it just traps it.
Plus, he doesn't
live
in
the
Valley.
House. It's like separate, so it's better in here.
Those ain't got no central air.
It's not attached to the house.
He doesn't need it. He doesn't live in Death Valley.
Yeah, I'm not in Bakersfield, fool.
So here's the funny part: LA was like 114 degrees.
What's that?
Like LA was 114 degrees this week.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like 12.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Insane. It's dumb. It is. I'm like, that's
fuck all that, man.
That's up there. That's up there.
Yeah, no, I think the hottest down by my job where everything's on fire right now.
That's true.
I want to say it hit maybe 107, 109, but here in Long Beach, I think the high we hit was maybe 101, 102. And then once the evening hits, boom, it fucking drops. So it's nice.
We don't have.
Welcome to AccuWeather.
This is your weather on the nines.
That's what we do.
We got a signaler on the 101.
I miss the Weather Channel. I miss that shit just like playing in the background. You know, like the whole AI like PowerPoint Weather Channel. Not when they actually had real people talking. When they just like put up like words, little background music and shit.
Just a Chiron running.
They just bring it back.
Heck yeah, man.
We should just do that. We can just do that and put it on Twitch.
Yeah, just have
like we fucking have a gangbusters. Like you're so millennials, man. We subs up the yin yang.
It'll be one of those niche things where people are like, I don't know, I just can't fucking stop doing it.
Pokemon Plays Weather Channel. You know, like,
we make it work, baby.
Oh, you know, mute this, kill this right now. I don't want anyone to steal this idea.
Trademark.
Yeah,
do it. It's trademark.
No, like I'll be on that podcast.
Money on Twitch to pay for everybody to get PS5 Pros.
Yeah, timestamp is 702.
Hey, they said you get a second job. Here we are.
We locked it.
We might need those stimulus checks now.
Right,
coming. Sony's coming for it. Coming for all that tax money, all the hope money, all the federal government surplus spending you got.
They said, get your documents together because we're coming.
This is a transfer of wealth directly from America back to Japan.
Yes.
That Japan dollar is about to get a huge infusion.
Right.
All your money belong to us.
They really waited post-debate because they were like, oh, this is going to be a hot topic between Trump and Harris. So we're going to wait till next day.
Oh, that'd be great if somebody asked them a question on the PS5 Pro. That'd be amazing.
That's what they should have did. What are your thoughts on the PS5 Pro?
It's from China.
China.
It's about tariffs. We make it pay tariffs.
Oh, man.
The dogs. They're eating our pets. Fucking moron.
Yeah, they're eating the dogs.
Yeah. My favorite part of that was
dogs of the cat. They put them in the pot. It was very good.
My favorite thing was waking up this morning to all the Alf memes. We found the illegal alien.
Yes. Yes.
This fucking Alf. I was like, you know what? That is true. He was not from here.
He wasn't.
He was not.
Cats.
He was in fact an illegal alien.
That cat.
You know what? Try to fact check Trump now. It checks.
It's hilarious.
It all checks out.
Yep. Damn.
All right, Chuafie. Since you're like kind of a guest, what the fuck you been up to?
Let's see. Kind of a lot. I'm just gonna save it all for Cadillac. So, Delvin, what are you up to? I'm just kidding.
So no.
Not here.
I actually had a fun experience over the weekend. It's the first time putting my car in a car show.
Yeah.
And that was really really super exciting. So like in the morning, pulled up, and it's like it is as California can be. Fucking sunrise coming up, palm trees. And so I'm just kind of chilling. And then it was like, oh shit, this is happening. Like I'm maybe like 20 cars deep in the line, and then you just hear in the distance like the first boom, and then each car, like, so it's like the sound just coming further, so each one of it's just like starting up our car. And it's like that was really fucking cool, because it's like, all right, we're doing this. And then just finding the place to like park and like station in. And I was there, like we were able to start parking at 7. The event was from 9 to 3, and I got there like a little about around 6, just to make sure I had a space. And I had a really good space. I was like in the center of it all. And I think what was most like exciting to me that it didn't even dawn on me was that like, oh shit, people are going to be taking pictures of my car. And so kind of seeing other people appreciate it was like, because I was a bit intimidated, where I'm like, I know it's not a perfect car. The engine is clean, but it's not show, like nobody gives a fuck about a 327. They want to see an LS in there, like they want to see different things. But my car does look nice. And so it's just seeing people come up doing selfies, or people with like real pro equipment, like doing stuff. Like there was one dude, I took a picture of him because he came back about 3 or 4 times during the day just to hit different angles on my car. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like, he's into it, So it's just the appreciating people appreciate my car. And one of my teachers lives in the area where they had the car show. So she walked on over. We talked for a little bit. One of the guys I work with, he came up from Orange County, hung out for a bit. And then eventually my wife and my daughter, they came and hung out. I would say the only negative was it was just hotter than a bitch on Sunday. So I got a mild deep tan, mild sunburn, but not enough to be like, oh, I'm itchy, So I was good to go. But that was like super fun. Now, Donnie, you've done this, right?
Several times. I've gone to maybe 6 or 7 car shows.
Was your experience similar?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's different because we have very different cars. Mm-hmm. You have a very classical, appealing car. Everybody loves Chevelles.
Yeah.
New school loves Chevelles. Old school loves Chevelles. If anything, I would be impressed that like the feedback that you would get, I would imagine, would be from those people telling you what you should do with your Chevelle, right? Because people, you make it modern and put like some rims on it and some 20s.
Oh, because you can swap it in so different ways.
Or like some old dude who's like, I hate all that shit. Like keep it original.
Stock.
Yeah. But out in Cali, where like the mod scene is so big, I would imagine that it's a lot of new school folks. And maybe, I don't know. What was the lay of the land? Did you have like a lot of old heads? Or was a lot of
what? So this event very much, imagine it more like a street fair. So it's not like you kind of sit and watch, like you're not posted up next to your car. Everyone's kind of cycling through.
Yeah,
you go down one street, up one street, and then it's like along the beach. But the cars were a variety. Like you had from lowriders to resto mods to like full blown. Like
I haven't been to anything like that. Mm-hmm. We have shows like that here. Most notably, we have like the Cars and Coffee like meetups where everybody just brings anything, and it's like a mix. I never go to those because they're Sunday mornings, and I'm always doing Shack.
Yeah,
I've been invited a dozen times, and I've just never gone because of Shack.
And so this one felt like would be like an elevated version of a Cars and Coffee, because it wasn't like every car was in. So we weren't seeing foreign cars or like trucks. Fucking drifters. Yeah, if you had trucks, you had like a C10, like the square bodies. So it was more like that. So you had cars that maybe
the stuff that I've been to, it's just a lot of old people. Like I'm like, I am by far usually the youngest person there.
Yeah. No, this was
more often than not. But my car actually speaks to that crowd. I think a lot of young folks hate my car. Young folks, what the fuck is this ugly thing? Yeah. They hate it. It's old people.
Yeah.
Old people absolutely love my fucking car.
Yeah.
Especially like really old people. I find like a 75-year-old woman who like went on a date in my car, she lose her shit when she sees my car.
Yeah.
Like I've had especially they always lean in and they always love that I have the CB radio in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
like that takes them back. They love that I haven't touched it, that it's original.
Like, see, I can lift up over here so you can see, because there are unique pieces to my car. So you can't see it right now. Maybe you can kind of see like the tail light is chromed out. So that's one thing that stands out. Then on the front end, on the hood, this part right here is chrome. And then you can't see the steering wheel, but it's a very tiny, like if you were to make a circle like this, that's the size of my steering wheel. And it's the old chain steering wheel.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'll drop it into the chat later. So those were things that really caught people's eyes. They'd walk by and see the chain steering wheel is the move. So they were just like, "Oh shit, like that's crazy." And you could still get a chain steering wheel, but to have one that's very small, and it's like when my dad had it and he drove it as a teen. It was a lowrider, full hydraulics and everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's the steering wheel. Like I keep it for nostalgic. It's not the most practical steering wheel, but it's just more like when I was a kid, that was the wheel in the car. So that's the wheel I keep in there.
Yeah, mine usually gets entered into like the most unique, like those sorts of things. It's never at like top of show a car. It never will be, because it's not a show car. One, it's not particularly valuable. Like your Chevelle, your Chevelle is actually very valuable.
Yeah.
If you have an original Chevelle with the red engine and stuff, you could be talking about a $50,000 car.
Yeah.
Like it's mortgageable.
Yeah. The highest I was offered was 36,000.
Yeah.
And it's still it's still the red 320.
But my car is always like a novelty. It's like a throw off.
Yeah. But so that was like the big highlight for me, and so it's just been like kind of riding that high of like excitement, and then,
it is fun. I like how much I learn from them when I do go, because at the car shows people are particularly chatty, which is something I wasn't expecting. I was expecting, and there are those people that just sit there by their car and like they don't want to talk. But if you sit by your car, you will undoubtedly have somebody walk up to you and ask you about it. They want to talk to you about it. What do you plan on doing with it? You want to mod it? You do this? I did this when I was 23 back in my day, and you learn a lot from that. I've learned a lot from just being around it through osmosis.
But even like how you said too, I did have people come up who were like, I had a red one. I had
that stuff is
69.
Good.
I had the like they really,
that stuff is gold. I've also had some asshole comments. I've had some people come in and they tell me my Roadrunner is not a real Roadrunner. It's it's a grocery getter. I've had some assholes too.
Yeah,
I had one dude who thought it was fake. He thought I faked it.
Oh, really? Like it was like a
he literally was like, "You put those stickers on it." I had to like pop the hood and show him the original tag, and because it is tagged. It's a Mopar original tag. It's a real car.
Yeah, it's the real deal, man.
Yeah, it's an A57. That's a Roadrunner tag. There's only one car that has that tag on it, and but he thought it was fake.
I only had one negative comment, and that was someone who didn't like the chrome ends. Like he tapped the tail.
And he was that is the funny thing with cars is people believe what they believe strongly, and they'll let you know. They'll tell you.
Yeah. So that was just.
It's just my car. I don't care what you think. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, but they're going to tell you what they think. That's there is a part of that at the car show.
Yeah, because he said to me something like, and it wasn't like a big conversation either. He just like tapped it, and then he was like, "I don't like this shit," and I said, "It's cool. It's not for you."
And the Chevelle,
why are you tapping my car?
In the Chevelle,
you like to tap, man.
The Chevelle is particular like that because the Chevelle and the Nova.
So quick. Get the fuck away from my motherfucking car, you punk.
Like I said, the Chevelle and the Nova are particularly popular across generations.
Yes.
Like a lot of people want to fix them up, make them modern, want to retro mod them. They're very popular, with street rides and stuff like that. And then they're also popular because of the old muscle car folks that like them and stuff like that too. So you're going to find a lot of people that have a lot of opinions on what you should or shouldn't do with it.
Yeah. But for the most part, like aside from the one negative comment, everyone was real cool. Now, if you've ever been to like the
anybody listening, if you ever go to a car show, don't touch anybody's car. That's a no-no.
Yeah, please don't.
That should actually get you smacked. Like that might actually that could cause physical.
That's
a thing.
Of grabbing a random lady's ass. Don't do that.
Yeah. You don't touch people's cars. And a lot of people, the car shows that I go to, a lot of them will have like books or photos or signs, and you can almost undoubtedly see one of them is going to be like, "Don't touch." You can look, but don't touch.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, if you ever make it down to like the Long Beach area and go to like what's Belmont Shore, there's this street called 2nd Street, which is kind of like it's just a little bit off the water, and it's got all the the fun shops and restaurants type of place where it's the kind of place you just cycle through. So it already is like on a regular day a sort of light party setting. So then it's a lot of restaurants with the outdoor patio. So then people are drinking. Yep. You can see all the football games happening as well. So it was just a regular Sunday times 10 because people were out. So football. It was fun. It was it was a really good weekend. Like I said, I had a great time. I'm looking forward to do it again. I don't know if I'll do it every year because I think if I go, I probably won't go back next year. I really need to get my interior done, but maybe the year after that because I don't want to be that dude that's just like I'm here every year.
I parked my Roadrunner at the shop today.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I think the transmission might need to be rebuilt.
Ooh. Well, a rebuilt transmission ain't that much. Like,
I'm going to rebuild the one I have if we can, but we'll see. Yeah. I'm not sure. It's leaking transmission fluid. It has been for some time, but it's getting worse. Okay. So I was like, we need to fix this before the fall comes in. Before I want to drive it, we need to fix it.
Yeah, because at least a rebuild on what you already have, very inexpensive. Maybe you're definitely looking less than like $300 if you're just rebuilding.
I think it's going to be like $1,000.
Oh, then you're going full like.
How much in PS5s? Pros.
Yeah, how many PS5 Pros is that?
1.2. Not as many as you listen, Delvin. Not as many as you think. I might as well get a PS5 Pro and strap that underneath it and see if that'll fucking get the car going.
But are you getting the PS5 and then adding the disc drive or no disc drive? Like what's cost?
Are you buying a stand for it?
Yeah.
Right. How deep down the rabbit hole of PS5s are we going?
Like
there you go. Perfect.
I'm already set. I got this stand.
How much can you trade that in for it on top of that 410?
We're about to find out.
Donnie wants to wrap up this show so he can make some money. He's like,
not for the Pro, but yeah, I saw that number and I was like, oh, wait a minute.
He's like, I got to finish Astro Bot.
Right at that number, it's like I can get all my money back and the free year of Netflix. It's like I'm intrigued. You know what? I'm intrigued to cash out and just get another PS5, like just a cheaper one. Like I'll just get a used one for like $200. Seriously, I'm not even lying.
Big 400.
I just trade back down. Yeah, and I'll cash that 200 credit, like 100%. I will.
And then he's gonna reverse flip it again. So then he gets to the point where it's like now we're owing him.
Yeah, Donnie like reverse mortgage in PS5s.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's boy math.
Yeah,
real fucking is there. I'm like, wait a second,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, how many flips does it take to break even but still come up on a PlayStation?
Because I bought games. Like I have games I've pre-ordered to play.
Well, you don't need them no more. Not anymore.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Oh, to answer or to comment on Jess Martinez where he says get a Grand National. There were 4 dudes that were lined up together with just different versions of Grand National. I love a Grand National. Those shits are beautiful. And one of them had that.
Not my thing.
Have you seen that weird 3-shifter where it's like you have the main shift, but then it's like 2 that are smaller ones? That shit is fucking bananas. So I saw one of those, but those fucking Grand National.
The black on black is like the one that they souped up with like the performance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's the one that everybody has or wants.
That's a black ass car right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
That comes with Newports.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like fully.
Chaufie's car blends that. You are like the code switch of cars.
Yes.
Like it can be black or it can be white. Like it depends on what you do with it.
No, it hits all of the angles.
It really does. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I can pull up with the lowriders too. They're
That's true. Yeah.
Everybody
it really does.
Yeah.
It is a very that car it reaches all peoples.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody loves a Chevelle.
So it was good. Like I said, I had a great time. I can't wait to do it again.
Just not the 4-door.
Yeah, no.
That's the one everybody hates. Everybody makes fun of the 4-door Chevelle.
Why would you do that?
They did.
Yeah,
most cars came in 4-door options.
What's that?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, I'm kind of for it. I'm like, yeah, if you've got kids, you get it.
Now,
I'd much rather have the fourth door than you trying to shovel in the back and lift up my seat and shit. But people hate on 4-door everything. They hate on 4-door everything.
What I do? Okay, so one thing that was you remember you sent that video of Donut where they were doing they modded the Miata?
Yeah, the customs.
And I told you I would know the girl.
I kind of thought maybe you did. And that's like some profile and shit, but I was like, I bet Chaufie knows these people. And I sent it to Chaufie, and Chaufie's like, yo, I know her.
Yeah.
There you go.
The girl Jackie
sometimes profiling works.
Yeah. The girl Jackie had her Riviera.
Yeah, see, Jackie, he didn't even know her as a girl. He's I know Jackie.
Yeah. But she's got the Riviera where it's the front end is like those like long pillars where then it rotates back so the headlights show. That shit it's
that Miata was fucking ridiculous. That was stupid.
The Miata was bananas.
That was fucking dumb. If you guys didn't watch it, Donut did a video where they tried to infiltrate the lowrider scene.
And then they broke it.
And what they used to do was a Miata. They turned a Miata into a lowrider. They have hydraulics, made it bounce, gave it rims, gave it floral paint patterns. It was stupid.
Top
shit.
to
This is
bottom
dumb as hell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck is?
But it was also one of those monstrosities where you're like, but I kind of like it.
Donut is a car influencing YouTube brand channel thing. They do car stuff. They're in Forza. They're in Motorfest. Like they also do games.
You know damn well Dev don't know that.
I know.
You keep saying these words like we're just supposed to know what the hell you're talking about here.
Anyway, I'm sure we've ruined everybody.
Gran Turismo. You
People
better
are here for the PS5 Pro, not 25 minutes of car talk.
Listen, we are here for whatever the hell we decide to put on.
Goddamn right.
PSVG is about. We do what we want.
Yeah, lucky we didn't start the podcast where I want to start the podcast off. Y'all have really been mad.
I mean, that's why the show name is Some Video Games.
Yeah,
you're lucky if you
we
get
definitely put the sum in place. Of video games.
Yeah.
At some point, we're gonna get to it. Not right now.
Yeah, not right now. We get
eventually, maybe.
Yeah,
if you're nice about it.
Yeah. But so that's me in a nutshell.
All right, Delvin, what the hell
Glad you had fun.
Man, I just been playing games. I've been playing the same shit I've been playing last week. I'm
good. I'm glad you're playing games.
Right.
I think I'm like 15 hours in the Outlaws, which is like the most I played of a game all goddamn year. And I'm still in the intro area of it. Had a lot of fun with that game. That game's fun as fuck. Once you start figuring shit out.
I'm glad you're liking it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm playing that. I'm playing I got NBA 2K like I do yearly and don't play it.
GameStop robbing you on the robbing you yearly.
2Ks.
Here's my so I can sit there. And I was playing Astrobot, and my daughter looked at me and she's like, "Yeah, I want to play that." I'm like, well, guess I lost that game.
Yeah. You bought a physical?
Yeah, I bought a physical. Because I knew she was going to eventually ask me to play it.
Why wouldn't you just buy it digitally? That way you could both be playing it. Like,
because my son is the same. My son would be asking it because my son plays on my console, my digital version as well. So that'll be a whole mess of all three of us trying to play the system.
Doesn't he have his own?
But yes, I have better games though. I buy everything. So he's like, yeah.
Do you not share the game? Are you not doing the family thing where he can log in and play your? What the?
He does.
What is happening in your house?
I was like,
I'm so confused.
What year is Delvin living in?
He does.
I don't know.
But I don't know what the fuck he does. But for some reason, he does it where he changes my PS5 from the primary one. So when I try to play it, if my internet goes out, like, oh, guess you can't play your PS5 no more. Like, oh, fuck you. No.
Oh my God. Yeah. So you need to just make him his PS5 would be your primary. Okay. Would be the primary PS5. And then anytime you log into your PS5, you can play whatever games you want. It has nothing to do with it.
No,
yeah.
It doesn't work.
You run a PlayStation podcast, sir.
Do I? I've been trying to get off it for years. I've literally given it to Snurts, and he's like, no.
Does it run? Does it run?
It kind of walks.
Jesus.
It's called PlayStation Experience because it's like it's an experience.
Somebody have an experience.
It is
not PlayStation.
Yeah. Oh my God.
But yeah, I bought a physical copy. She's playing it. She's enjoying it.
So they're just walking this disc all around the house,
right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Acting like it's
like
2005.
Blockbuster.
Yeah,
Right.
Here, take the copy.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah,
We have a better way of doing this.
But I'm fine. 'Cause I have plenty of shit to play. I'm playing Outlaws. I'm not playing NBA 2K. Dev and Donnie bullied me into buying Space Marines. So one day we can play together.
You ain't playing together.
I told you I wasn't playing that shit with you. I told you I wasn't playing that shit with you.
You're going to play it with us.
Hey,
I'm not.
Yes,
Where's
We'll find a way.
Where's the CNN
We'll
fact
find a way.
checker on Delvin?
We're going to do it for the 7.
We're
going to do it for the 7.
That's not true.
Yes.
we had a good time with Hive Busters. We can do this.
Yeah,
again.
we had a lot of fun with Hive Busters. I don't like playing
And then
anybody.
y'all ragged on it. I'm not playing the games with you guys.
we got mad at the ending. We were like, where's the rest of the
We were
fucking
mad.
game?
Yes, we were mad at the ending. That's a different
we
story.
were like, hey.
We enjoyed the hell out the game. We were just
like-
mad at the ending. Like we
they were
want
like-
more.
They're like, hey, go play somewhere. I'm like, what? What the fuck?
Where's the rest
game?
of it? We wanted more. That's not a rag on the game. We wanted more. That's how much we enjoyed it.
We enjoyed it. We had fun. So I got that. I got I'm having a good time. I've been having a good week this week, man. Everything's been
Excellent.
pretty good. Can't complain about things, you know. Just got my
that's
tickets to go
definitely
see
good that you started
Transformers
with
1.
video games.
Yeah, play some video games. Go watch
Fantastic.
Transformers 1 this weekend.
Excellent.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know my son really wants to see that.
Tell him to come down to Miami. I'll take him.
Okay, so what's the story
wanna
with
take a listen to
Transformers
that.
1? Because I've only seen the poster. What's happening with it?
It's supposed to be a prequel to the original Transformers series, telling the story of Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Bumblebee's relationship before Megatron turned bad. So it's essentially Star Wars.
Okay.
It's the prequel story of Star
without
Wars.
the father thing.
Yeah, it's the prequel story of Megatron turning evil.
Kick it?
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to kick it. They was tight. They were like
They were
brothers,
best friends.
you
They
know?
were like brothers.
Okay.
And eventually one of them turned into the ultimate bad guy and takes over the world. Then Cybertron gets destroyed and Optimus Prime goes to Earth and all that good stuff. I'm excited for it. I wasn't
looks
at
good.
first until
Same.
multiple people who are Transformers fans say, hey, this shit is dope. You will like this movie a lot.
Yeah, based on that first trailer, it was kind of like, but some of the later trailers, I'm like, okay, wait a minute, we're going some places here. So yeah. I'm definitely excited to see that with the kid.
I've only seen the poster, and I was like, this shit looks mad corny.
I
But
thought the same.
but what I'm hearing from like different avenues, people are like from the voice acting to the story. Like people have seen like already like previews of
It's
it.
really
Like
good.
it's really fucking good. And I was like, for real? I'll just wait for Delvin to buy it on Vudu so I can watch it later.
That's literally what Chaufie does for everything. He just waits
As
till
it
I
should
buy
be.
it because he knows I'm going to buy it. So instead of going to the movie, he's like, I'll just wait a week. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
He just watches
Man,
the
I'm
movie.
not a fool like you. I'm not waiting for someone to hand me a disc. Like it's available digitally, and so I'm gonna log into your account and use it.
And just watch it
Don't
there.
wait.
All right, so what I'm gonna need you to do now, Delvin, is go ahead and link your Voodoo to a Disney account, like their little movies account, and give me that access so I can have that as well.
I can link that to
So
Disney.
I got my own.
I know it's linked to my Amazon Prime account.
Mm-hmm.
I know I can link it to the Disney account. Huh, interesting.
Yeah. You can link all.
Wait, but
kinds of
isn't
shit.
that
That's
only
great.
the movies anywhere? It's not like you can't get it on your Disney Plus, right?
No, it's just the Movies Anywhere app. So you just download the Movies Anywhere app, you log in as Delvin, and you have access to all this shit.
Yeah, because
Which
you
is a
can
lot.
you can link your Apple TV. Everything goes to Movies Anywhere.
Yeah, which is a lot. I have like a lot of movies. And the first season of Pee-wee's Playhouse. Because I like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Tight.
So random.
Yeah.
So random.
I think I bought when Paul Rubens died. I think it was on sale for like 50% off. So it's like $5. Like, I want to watch that. I love Pee-wee's Playhouse. And that's what I did. Just bought it
Nice.
sporadically.
That's what's up. All right. So I've been playing Outlaws 2, and I'm glad that I'm still playing it and not playing it for review really anymore, because now that I'm not choffing the game and trying to golden path it, I'm having a hell of a lot more fun with it.
It is.
Yeah, like all of the side stuff just makes the game so much more fun. Like when you
Double
if you're
crossing
just-
everybody.
Yeah, man. All the facts and stuff is good. I've lost a lot of hours to Sabak. I don't like card games. I don't know how to play poker, but this Sabak game is
It's really good. It's a lot of fun.
So much fun. And then
Especially
trying to get all,
cheating.
like, everywhere you go. Yep, absolutely. Have you run into Lando yet?
Oh, I need to. I'm waiting. I can't wait.
Once you run into Lando, he's got a great cheat.
Wait,
the
are you
cheat that
guys playing
get from him-
Spades in Space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you brought up Lando, I was like, man,
the blackest
really
shit you can do.
this up, huh?
We're playing spades.
Man, you guys pouring out some smooth cognac too? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Let me get a Coke 45.
Kind of, yeah. We gotta protect Billy D. Williams, bro. Too many all legends dying.
Dude, for real.
Too many. In a week. Yo, bro.
Like all the celebrities are dying. They said, "Oh, hey, are you Gen X?" Everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Like,
just off the map.
Yeah. I do like that this game is getting a very quick second wind, whereas like when it came out, people were just like, it's whack, it's not good, it's falling apart. And it was all that. Like now it's almost like the people actually playing the game, not the reviewers, are like,
yes,
yeah, this shit's tight, like it works.
Yeah.
Like I can do the Star Wars stuff I always wanted to do, whereas like the reviewers were like 4 out of 10, you know, like it's not good, it's repetitive. Whereas like what I'm hearing consistently is kind of like what Dev said, like I can live here and I can do these things and I can just enjoy it. And I'm like, that's ideal. Now I'll just pick it up at Christmas time when Ubisoft sells it for like
$12.
Yeah. I love the whole concept of doing a mission and then getting to this one point in the mission. They're like, you could finish the mission, or you can just fuck these people over and we'll give you more money for that. I'm like, oh, okay, let's just do that then.
Funny.
Fuck these guys.
Yeah, it's great. All the double crossing and stuff.
And then sometimes you have to answer for the double cross. They're like, what the fuck happened? They're like, my bad.
You know, I don't know, man. This guy came here and did this, and shit got crazy.
Like one of the early funny missions is you meet one of the Pike leaders, and you have the option to steal his ring. And then later on, he'll be like, hey, where the fuck is my ring at?
Like,
wait, so I know we started the show talking about this, but basically this is Los Santos in space, is what you're like. You're stealing shit, you're double crossing people, playing cards.
I mean, yeah, it's a gangster movie. That's really what it is.
This is what in the black exploitation Star Wars is happening.
Yeah. You can.
They were like,
fun,
this is for a specific market. Shannon Sharp in this?
He was in something else.
Yeah, he was in something else for real. Oh God. Yikes. But yeah, I'm having a really good time with Outlaws. It's great. I just keep going back to it. I've gotten to Tatooine, which is like, you know, Star Wars fantasy for real, because you're on the desert planet that everybody's familiar with. So that's been fun, dealing with the Hutts, and can't wait to actually finally run into Jabba. Haven't run into him yet, but just the gameplay loop is starting to be more fun. I'm opening up more options, more things I can do, and it's making the game like that much more enjoyable. And I haven't even gotten to like collect everybody and get the heist. So I'm having a lot of fun with it.
I think the thing that probably turned people off from it is they start you off so goddamn bare bones with like nothing, like literally nothing. Like you just got a blaster and a hope and a prayer. And as you progress your steal, it's like, oh, this is fucking cool. Like you can talk your way out of situations. You can stall and do all these other cool things that add so much to the story and the stealth elements of it. It makes it a lot more funner than at the earlier levels. Like you're just playing and you get caught, that's just game over. Like, that's not fun.
Yeah. It opens up a good deal. I mean, the beginning of all of that stuff is really just the tutorial. That's really what it boils down to. But once you kind of get into the open world and start being able to do stuff not in the order that you need, that you're supposed to, and then once you get to like the real open part, you can go to any planet in any orders. There's no real like linearity of how you have to do stuff. You have way more options, and that just adds to the fun, in my opinion. But
I agree.
I'm gonna keep playing this shit as long as Donnie lets me, stay logged into his Ubisoft account, because that's who owns the game.
I'm not using it anytime soon.
I will say this.
I got this thing here. I got this little G Cloud that I've been.
Oh yeah,
how do you like it?
Excited to hear about that.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I haven't had a whole lot of time with it because like my portable gaming just doesn't really exist. I keep taking it to work, thinking I'm gonna have time to actually mess around with it, and I just have not had time.
Yeah,
I've really only played. Yeah, I'm working through my lunches. But I played a little bit of Retro Bowl. I hooked it up with Steam. I did some GeForce Now and was playing Saints Row. So it works pretty well. The screen is really nice.
It's so nice.
And it's a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said.
But
sometimes.
But yeah, I'm having it's a pretty cool little device. I'm not giving it to my son. I was originally thinking I was going to but nah, he can keep the Switch. I'll keep this.
My man's getting the handheld now, baby.
Yeah, he can keep that Switch. I'm gonna keep that and take it with me and see what I can do with that.
We gotta hook you up with some emulators.
Yeah, man. I'm thinking it.
I got all the ROMs.
I believe you do, but I don't want to play old shit. Like, I'm not into like the old, like, no.
You can play the SNES.
Your favorite console, the NES. Take it with you.
I have that. I have
but
it
not handheld.
This is just gonna be my little.
Take it with you to work.
Yeah, and play it when I may play it. We'll see what happens.
Whatever.
Oh man, you guys just summoned D-Life.
I mean, you know how anytime we talk about anything portable, he just pops up.
Yes,
I'm here.
Rise from your grave.
Summoned.
I am here.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, that's it. And yeah, I played about 15 minutes of Space Marine 2, and that is a Donnie game if I ever see one. Yeah. Jesus Christ. It's the beginning, just the intro, I was like, oh God, I know why Donnie loves this. We're going to smash things in the face. We're going to cut them up with the saw blade, and there's blood spatter everywhere. I'm like, this is some Donnie ass shit.
Solid.
I like it.
But it's cool. So yeah, Delvin, we'll somehow get his ass to play with us and talk some shit for the 7. It'll be great. But yeah, that's been my week. Donnie, what the hell you been up to?
Right now, I'm searching for a PlayStation.
I was about to say, I know this fool over here.
I know he's been in there working.
Real quiet.
Yeah.
This is the most Donnie's ever quiet on this show. I was like, this was just researching. He's like, I'm going to flip this bitch so quick.
What are we doing?
Yeah, what have you been up to, Donnie?
I'm playing Astrobot and Space Marine, and they are great. These are 2 of my favorite games that I've played this year so far, even as much as I've played. I do want to talk about Astrobot. I know we have a long show and everybody wants to talk about PlayStation 5, but I want to talk about Astrobot for a minute because I don't want the PlayStation 5 Pro to drown out how great Astrobot is. Like, maybe we should talk about this game. It is incredible. All the things you read online, I think, are true. I'm not here to say it's not. It does seem like PlayStation has made a platformer that hits people in their nostalgic feelings like only Nintendo has. And that's really fucking awesome. And I think there's some people that feel threatened by that. Like they don't want to give Astro as just desserts because they feel like that's, threatening to Mario or anything. And I just like to repeat what I said on Shaq. We've been waiting like 40 fucking years for somebody to do this. Yes. Like it didn't seem like it would be that hard. Lots of people have come for the throne. We've had Sonic and Crash and Spyro and Sackboy. Like so many have tried, and none of them were quite as good, right? I think this one is as good. I don't think it's the best Mario game of all time. I do think I think the feelings, the nostalgia, has people being a little hyperbolic. There are some crazy things that are being said. Things like Astrobot's the greatest PlayStation game ever made. That's crazy. That's out there. That's way out there. I think that's out of pocket.
Last of Us 2.
I think that's just unhinged. How dare you?
The greatest.
Bingo. That's correct.
But that doesn't mean that I don't think it's a great game. I do think it's a great game. I think it's up there with their offerings, the best of their offerings. I think it might be the best game that they've released on this console. It's not the highest bar that they have, but I think because of the drought and because of where people are and because of the nostalgia and because it makes people feel whimsical and like this is the first time I think a lot of these people have ever felt this way on something that wasn't branded Nintendo. And I think that has them. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but in my watching it, there was like a snowball effect. Like reviews hit and it was like Astro's great. And then it was Astro's game of the year. It was like Astro's game of the generation. Astro's the greatest game ever made. Like that just seems that's like what social media does. You just have to like outdo each other to get attention. I do have like, I wouldn't say qualms, but if I wanted to be nitpicky, like the camera. I've had several issues with the camera. Like it's not that it's bad by any means, but it's like I want more control over it. I wish it was faster. Like I wish I could spin it faster. There's an option in the menu where you can press the circle to like autofocus it. That helps. So if you're out there like me, turn that on. That'll help. But like I just wish I could adjust it. You can't adjust it. I wish I could. I don't think the platforming is on par with like the best of Mario's. But this game is like really interesting. the way I was explaining, Kevin and I were talking about it offline. This game is both like a 3D Mario game, but has like all of the love letter to video games that like a Smash Brothers has, like all in one game, because it's got the 3D platforming where you go around, you solve little puzzles and stuff. It's not like mechanically, it's really not doing anything that I don't think I haven't seen like in any Mario game. You grab people by the tail, you spin them around, you jump on the thing, you know, like this Mario things. But it's all of the fan service that's on top of it, right? It's the Metal Gear, it's the fucking Resident Evil, it's the Devil May Cry, it's the Uncharted bot, it's the Parappa bot. That shit just gets people all kinds of excited. And there is a lot of stuff like that in here. The fan service is fucking off the charts. I think that's where maybe the hyperbolic stuff is coming from. But it is very good. I like, if I had to make a comparison, I think it's better than Mario Odyssey. I wasn't like over the moon thinking Mario Odyssey was perfect when it came out either. I was that guy. Yeah, but I would put it slightly for its time. I think 64 is better. I think Galaxy and 3D World might be better, but it's like right there with them. So like, what a great pedestal to be on. You know, it's right there on the plane with all those. It can happily sit right next to all of them, and that's a tremendous thing. Something that hasn't happened. Again, I reiterate, in like 40 years. That's a big deal. You know, for all those people that are like, Sega's better. No, it wasn't. Sonic was never better than Mario. No. Like that just was not true.
Not even on his best day.
Right. And I feel like everything happened since then. Moving forward, I wonder, I want to see Astro stand on its own without being propped up by, you know, like how many times can we like find Solid Snake Bot and get excited? You know, like this is the second time we've done this now. So like there's a part in me that's like, okay, like I'm excited for the next one. I don't mind it doing this one. This is super fun. But for the next one, I would like for it to be like its own thing. Like you can't keep doing that.
Stand on your own legs now.
Yeah. Also, though, if they wanted to, it's just an idea that I had while I was playing and I'm floating around. If they wanted to go like Mod Nation Racers or Sackboy or do like a Mario Golf or a Smash or something, I think dressing all the Astrobots up in costumes versus trying to like have their own characters like they did with Battle. What was it? What was the fighter, the brawler they had on Vita?
PlayStation All-Stars.
Yeah. All-Stars. I was going to say Battle Royale, but it was All-Stars. I think doing something like this for the bots, I think makes a lot of sense and it could be super fun. I would love an Astro Kart Racer or an Astrobot Party game where it's this and all of the folks. Like there's a lot of room there to grow, I think, if they wanted to go in that direction. I don't know where they're going to go with it. But I haven't beat it yet, so I'm not like final on it by any means, but what I've played has been great. It's everything I wanted it to be. It's everything I thought it could be. It's actually more than I thought it could be. I think it's better than I ever expected it would be, and it's incredible. It's really good. I like Astrobot a lot. Nice. Space Marine's fucking dope. Space Marine is Donnie's game. Space Marine made me stop playing Astro real quick. I was like, well, just because it is that game. Like it is. I was hanging out with Sean today on stream while he was playing it, watching him play. I'm a little further than he was. He should be almost caught up to me by now, I imagine. Space Marine reminds me a lot of, it is Gears. Like that's the thing everybody's gonna say. It's like Gears, and you're hulking around and stuff. Now, it doesn't have the cover system. The enemies don't react like it. You don't play it like Gears. Gears, you get in there, start swinging lances around, you will get worked. You will die.
Yes.
like you can't just do that. In this game, you can. But this game has a lot of counter stuff. So like you can counter with your sword, you counter different enemies with different buttons. And that way it reminds me somewhat of like the best analogies I could do is it's like a shooter, but like if it was like Devil May Cry kind of. Because like different enemies have different attacks that you block with different buttons. So I've never felt like so engaged on a controller in a shooter like this. Because you do have to time it, be paying attention to the different colors, and are you hitting the bumper? Are you dodging? You hitting A or you hitting B? What are you doing for every enemy encounter? And then it is the Starship Trooper game that like I've always wanted, where fucking floods of Tyranids come. I mean flood from they just pour over the wall, and like World War Z, they just pile on each other as they try to scale the wall.
Where it's just
the game
liquid flow.
Yeah, the game does such a great job of making you feel tense, where you're fighting for your life as you're backpedaling because there's so many of them that you can throw a grenade and the flock just fills the hole that you like it. Like it has that feeling. It feels like the Starship Troopers when they're at the base and all the aliens come out. Like it feels like that. It is like the single player game that I wished Helldivers was. It is scratching all of that. I haven't beaten it yet. If I had to guess, I think I'm probably halfway through. I've heard from the people that have and the things that I've seen online that maybe its biggest fault is that it's very short. I think the campaign is like 5 or 6 hours. But there is PvE, there's PvP, so you can play multiplayer, which is what most people play Warhammer for anyway. But I'm here for the campaign, and it has not let down. I love that Titus is back from the Death Watch. It ties into Bolt Gun. I am by no means a Warhammer aficionado, but my time with Warhammer has been documented here. I wanted to get into it. I started playing Bolt Gun. It led me to Space Marine. I played a bunch of others, and it led me to be very excited for this game. I feel like I've been trumpeting it all year. I've tried to be a champion for this game, and I'm excited to see people. I feel like people have been won over, because all year long when I was talking about it, it didn't seem like anybody gave a fuck that this game was coming out at all. But then it comes out and it's good, and I see a ton of people playing it. And if they're not playing it, I've seen a ton of people wanting to play it, which is something I wasn't seeing like a month ago or this summer. I wasn't seeing any of that. Saber outdid themselves. Like, it'd blow your mind if I told you this is a Saber interactive game. This is the people that made NBA Playgrounds. It is very good, and it's very pretty. It's epic in scope. There are so many times you see the horizon, you see it's Destiny, you see galaxies and planets and spaceships and explosions, Tyranids coming over the hills, and you're like, holy shit, like this is it. It is big. It has that big grand feeling. I love it. I just jump in there, start swinging a fucking chainsaw sword, like get some. It's awesome.
Nice. I can't wait to get further into it and beat the shit out of these Tyranids. And then bring Delvin along with me. We can murder things together. It's going to be great.
Nice. So I'm having a blast. I'm having a lot of fun playing my games this week. I've just been bouncing between those two.
Very nice. Well, we have news. Good dealing.
Boy, do we.
Yeah, what happened?
Let's get into the news.
The PlayStation 5 Pro was announced. Long rumored, off rumored. We talked about sketches and vectors and everything. It was here. Delivered in a 9-minute PlayStation 5 technical presentation by not only then Mark Cerny. We got a breakdown of what it is. And essentially the pitch is not having to choose between graphics and performance. That's become like a commonplace in today's consoles. You get like most games. I would say, is it most? I think it's most games.
Most. If not all.
Most games give you a performance or a graphics option. You have to choose what you prefer, what you want to give up. The whole pitch on this is make no choice. You get the PlayStation Pro mode, and you get the kind of the best of both. Cerny said that 75% of times players choose the performance over the graphics option, which is pretty big. Like that's 3 out of 4. And it's interesting because like I do wonder how is that weighed, because like a lot of indie games and stuff don't have an option, so it's like it's kind of a small segment. So it's like of the opportunities where you're given an option, 75% of the time people choose this one.
It's still a large number regardless. It's a large percentage.
He made a point to point out like, but the developers want to focus on graphics, which takes me back to 4 years ago when we were talking about this. I kept saying like anytime you give developers power, they just keep pushing that lever.
And pretty.
And I'm telling you, like, there's a part of me, I hope, and I probably think that I hope PlayStation is trying to police that some, because part of me, it's like you give them the Pro and if they just keep pushing the lever and they just make prettier games that run at 30, it's like, don't do that. But I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, it all comes down to the Pro has a larger GPU with increased render speed. It has streamlined and accelerated ray tracing. They said double, sometimes triple the speed of the current PlayStation 5, and it has the pisser, the PlayStation Spectral, whatever it's upscaling. It has upscaling. It's doing the FSR, DLSS, XESS, whatever it's on par with. PlayStation has their own model now, and it has upscaling. In the presentation, they showed Tilu 2 running at 60 frames with full graphics mode. We saw snippets of Spider-Man 2 and Ratchet Clank at almost double performance. Gran Turismo 7 gets ray tracing and gameplay now. It only had it in cutscenes before. Now it's in gameplay. There's also an 8K mode.
Yeah, that's
so if
ridiculous.
you're one of the 7 people in the world that have an 8K television, you can turn that on. They said there'll be around 50 games that are enhanced when the system launches this November. The focus is to bring more 4K 60 titles, but other games will just get graphics boosts. 25% of PlayStation 5 owners have a 120 hertz display. 10% have VRR TVs. And CNET got to go hands-on. They have like a video. It's kind of weird. Anybody watch the CNET video? I posted it. It's super weird because they weren't allowed to film anything up close.
Yeah.
So it was like, this is the Pro, but like you just see the TVs and they kind of, from the angle and the distance they're filming, like they look the same. You're like, okay, well, this isn't super helpful. But in particular, CNET said Final Fantasy VII Rebirth popped compared to the fuzzier graphics on the existing PS5. Everything was sharper, still smooth at 60 frames, and they said, quote, it felt like putting on new glasses. The price is $699.99, which has a lot of people feeling things in a bunch of different directions. It launches on November 7th. It does come with a 2 terabyte SSD in it. That's a significant improvement over the base. Are they at 1 terabyte now, or is it still like the 825 thing?
It's a 1 terabyte drive, but only
800 so much usable
is usable.
So it's a 2 terabyte drive. So that's a significant jump up.
Call of Duty and a half.
It has Wi-Fi 7, but it also does not come with a disk drive nor a stand, which I definitely made fun of and pointed at. I find it funny that the Pro model, usually when you buy the Pro version of something, it's like everything's included. Like you get all the whistles. Like you don't get like the Pro iPhone and then like camera sold separately. Like that's the best version.
Yeah,
it's crazy. You get the Pro model and they're like, but you still don't get a stand. Like to fucking put
GPU.
Fucking put the stand in the box. Like this is fucking absurd.
Nah.
No, Dev, I'm not going to hear that. Put the fucking stand in the box. Put the stand in the box.
Agree they should.
I don't care about the disk drive as much, but fucking put the stand in the box. Damn.
Why? Look,
I'll tell you why.
I'll
tell you why. Because
money.
Here's why. You know what? Then why sell a power cord? Why sell cover plates? Why sell a controller? Just fucking put the thing in there and make
don't
people
have
buy
USB
everything.
cables.
That's why they'll have toner. There's a slippery slope there. Not that I expect them to sell stuff without controllers, but like you can make a case. Like if you're not going to include the drive or the stand, why are you including anything else?
But to even go back
because
to
they
like
give you the bare minimum that you need to actually.
Oh, it's crazy.
On.
Absolutely.
But
I don't agree with it. I just get it. It's margin. I understand.
Yes,
but to say like printers don't come with the USB cable, it's like, yeah, but I plug my new printer into the old USB. This needs its own type of stand. It's not like there's a universal stand.
No, it's a stand. I have the stand I have will work.
But I'm saying it's like if I don't own one of these, then I don't have one.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's crazy that you just don't get the stand.
When printers started using USB versus serial ports, they still didn't come with the USB cable. That's all the thing. It's like if we can.
And you know what? Here's the thing: Nintendo is not like Nintendo did this shit. There was a 3DS upgrade where they just stopped including charging cables.
Yeah.
And their response was, "You probably already have one." Like they're like,
That's why phones don't come with them now.
And I thought that was dumb then. I was like, "This is stupid. Put it in the box."
Yeah.
But I said all the news. Lots of people have feelings about this. What do you guys feel? What do you guys think about
go
this?
Before me? Y'all go before.
Hang on. Before we get into what we feel about the offering and all that, I want to ask you, what do you think of the look? We got to see it. We saw a vector, we saw a sketch. Now we've seen it. Those fins or those grills are like, we've seen it. What do you think of the look?
Uninspired.
Okay.
Like just uninspired. It looks like a version of what we already see, but not anything that has me going like, oh shit. Because like you brought up too, like a pro model of something, pro controllers. How much more beautiful are those? Got a little more texture, a little more style, a little more flair. This doesn't have it. Just looks the same with like
it's the regular controller.
I'm like, is this the Adidas version? Like, what's up with the stripes?
Sean, I do believe it's a little bigger. It's a little taller, a little wider. It's marginal, but it's bigger.
You really think this looks that much different than the DualSense, the regular DualSense?
Now you're singling out one item, and that's just one singular piece.
Pro controller.
But what I'm saying though is that when you're,
I think he's thinking like a more an upgrade of the standard controller.
Yeah,
maybe put like rubber grips on it, like just doll it up a little.
I guess I'm just thinking about PlayStation and their branding and how they do stuff. They usually keep everything kind of in line. Like the PS4 Pro really didn't look any different than the regular PlayStation.
It had a whole extra Oreo stack on it.
Yeah, it had the Oreo stack.
They added an extra fins.
And this one, they gave you 2 more fins versus the one.
My favorite meme was the person on Threads.
The bendy straw?
The bendy straw. It looks like somebody yanked on the. I was like, oh, I can't not see it now.
But to even bring up the PS4 Pro, it's the same thing for me too, where I was like, where's the flair? Where's the style?
No, that I disagree. Well, the style in the console, yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah,
but the PS4 Pro made a lot of sense at the time at 4K.
Oh yes, but I'm saying when we're talking, we're talking about
style wise.
Yeah, we're still staying on style. I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, I think it fits. It just they're keeping what the design language is. I wouldn't expect them to deviate too much from that. Like, this is what our design language is for this stuff. It all fits. It looks like just the next iteration. It's bigger than the other one. It's got the extra fin. It looks like this is the bigger, beefier model of this. So, looks fine. Looks like a deal.
Well, who wants to go first? I've got thoughts I can share. Delvin
didn't say anything about his design. Do you like the way it looks, Delvin?
I'm waiting for him to enter the chat, and he won't. So I'm calling him.
We can't hear you, Delvin. You've did your mind.
Are you on mute?
We can't hear you.
Not even a little bit.
Still
Nothing.
Can't hear you. Nope.
Like, what did you do, man?
Do you want me to go while we wait for him?
Please
figure out your audio, Delvin. What happened?
Oh my God.
Unplug it and plug it back in. I don't know.
All right. So I'll give you my thoughts on the PlayStation 5 Pro. And I actually like that I'm going first.
Because you guys speak.
Are you hearing that too?
Are you hearing that too?
That's Delvin.
Because now he's picking up in reverse. It's like when you call on a radio station, you got a delay.
I'm trying to mute him. Talk, Delvin. Or not. Don't talk.
Y'all still can't hear me?
He's back.
You're back. Look at you.
This is excellent podcasting we got going on here. I have no idea.
What the fuck happened? Because I didn't mute the mic or nothing. I kept hitting the mute button. It said unmute and it wouldn't do nothing.
I told you.
I blame your Acer computer.
I've been trying to tell you to get the Yeti. Just get the Yeti.
No.
Come on, man.
So what do you think of the looks? Before we talk about the car, what do you think about the looks?
Look like a goddamn PlayStation. It doesn't look spectacular. It doesn't look like it. They didn't like redefine the system. It just looks like, oh, we just, here you go, close enough. I get it.
Would you like to kick us off about how you feel about the console?
Yeah, I can. I'm gonna be honest. I expected this. I expected the whole $699 thing. I've been saying it since they was. Mm-hmm. For the longest time, so it doesn't surprise me. PlayStation wants
we're going 700.
Yeah, like PlayStation kind of has this thing where like we are the standard, and you're gonna pay premium prices for our stuff. And I kind of feel like this is just because it's a pro. This feels like this is the test market to see how well it goes at this price range. Like if people like buy the pro and it does well enough. The 6 is going to be this price, or it may be more.
Wow.
Like, this is the start of it. I can see that.
Okay.
That makes sense.
I got thoughts on that.
I got a lot more thoughts, but I want Dev to
keep going. No, keep going.
No, because
let's do this one time. Let's save it for Dev.
Yeah, because my whole thing is like, because Dev asked me a question this week. Well, I brought up something this weekend. What did I bring up this week, Dev, to you? I was saying that I'm not interested in this at all.
I think I know what you're talking about, but it's funny that you were like, Dev, what did you say?
Because I told Dev to remind me what it was.
Yeah, what it was you were saying that this gin has left you underwhelmed, period.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you. I remember everything.
Thank you, Donnie. My whole thing is, honestly speaking, I don't really have a reason to upgrade.
Nobody does.
Except this is the first time I'm saying
Hold
this.
It, Jeff. Hold.
I just don't like. With the Pro, I felt like, okay, I have a reason to upgrade because it's going to look a lot better.
Yeah, 4K.
And the games that I had kind of felt like, oh, this is all. We had stuff that was coming out that felt like I was excited for.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like that with this generation. I kind of feel like the games that I got that we wanted to play have already come out. And they haven't really. But I can play that on my regular 5. I'm not excited for it enough to be like, oh, you can play that. It's on everything. Supposedly.
That's interesting because I think a lot of people are squarely probably thinking about that with this console.
I didn't think about that at all. Not even a little bit. Because I go to PlayStation games for PlayStation exclusives. So I kind of felt like, God of War's already come out. Spider-Man has already come out. They haven't announced They haven't announced Uncharted. They haven't announced another Last of Us. So if
Wolverine.
Yeah, that ain't coming out for a long time.
but even Wolverine, I'm like, okay, I don't feel like I need the Pro for that. And to me, I feel like this generation of PlayStation games, as opposed to the other generations, haven't really moved me to upgrade. Like, I'm like, all right, I could have kept my 4 for all of this stuff. I'm being honest because a lot of the stuff that we got is on the 4 already. And I don't see anything that we've gotten so far that they couldn't have done on the 4. It probably looked a little uglier. Probably wouldn't have ran as good, but we kind of could have had all this stuff on the 4. And I could have.
We do.
and I think that's what it is. Like when I was on the 4, we had all these games like Ghost of Tsushima. We had both of the
Spider-Man's Last of Us.
Spider-Man. It had so much stuff that made me look forward to getting games. And I don't feel that on the Vive. I hate to say it like that. I feel like the third-party games and everything else have been more compelling. Nintendo has been more compelling than what I've been getting on PlayStation. So now when they're like, hey, pay $700 for this console, I'm like, why? What have you shown me to make me want to pay this much money for it?
Yep, I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, I'm like,
I think you speak for the people. I think you're speaking for how a majority of people feel, because there is a lot of backlash to this announcement, and a lot of people don't like it. There are people that do for sure, but there's a lot of people that don't. And I think the people that do are upset about that. Like they're not too happy to see everybody else not like it. But I think everything you just said, Delvin, is the reason why they feel that way.
Yeah, I know people like to criticize Xbox about exclusives and things like that, but if you want to talk about just exclusives for PlayStation 5 specifically, hasn't been that much. Like, it hasn't been a lot. It's been some, but it hasn't been like what we've been getting. It's like, oh, okay.
I don't disagree with you at all there. I agree with all of those sentiments. And with that, the console is not for you. And it doesn't hurt you that it exists. And that's my thing. I'm like, why are you so mad that it exists? Like, the reality is you don't need a PS5. Half the games that you're playing, play on PS4.
I don't think people are mad that it exists. I think people are voicing the reason that they don't care. I think those are different things.
I think people are big mad.
I think
people are big mad. I think it's a mixture.
I haven't seen anybody with like.
I think it's more than mad at the price.
Canceled or something.
They're more mad at the price.
I've seen plenty of that.
The price is for real. The price. People are angry about the price.
PlayStation is so over. I can't believe. Like, I've seen a lot of that. And I'm just like, what kind of nonsense is that?
Dev's been hanging out on the Twitter I'll be hanging out on. He's saying it.
Yeah,
apparently, I haven't seen that. I'm talking about the folks on YouTube and stuff that I watch. I haven't.
I'm not watching YouTubers for this.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter.
That's the sentiment that I've seen. I'm like, why are you so bad? This doesn't hurt you at all. The reality is, like, you look at the price of the PlayStation, the fact that they're not able to subsidize consoles in the way they were. All of the electronics are more expensive. So they're like, okay, we've got the PlayStation 5, it's $500. Let's go ahead and release this bigger, badder thing. It's basically just a GPU upgrade. It's like buying a brand new GPU for your PC around the same exact cost as well. It's going to give us a little bit more margin. So let's say it costs us $550 to make this console. We can sell this to the people who really like seeing all of the bells and whistles and want that sharpness in their games, that aren't the ones who are like, I can still play this on PS4. And now we have a system that does generate some margin, and it speaks to this small niche of people who just want the higher fidelity stuff. It just gives you another option. It's not hurting gamers. It's not doing it. And if the price is too much for you, then it was never for you. You weren't going to get this in the first place. Like that's the reality of it, because it was going to be more expensive than the regular PlayStation. They're not dropping the price of PlayStation. You've seen they've raised it in several other countries. So
I think that's a part of the anger.
Yeah, it was never going to go down.
There's a part of that's a part of the anger is there's an expectation that when you introduce a better model that the previous models get cheaper. That's historically been true. Yeah. And that's not here. And I think that's a part of why
it's a different market. Mad. It was a different market because prices for electronics have not gone down.
I don't think you're right. I don't think it's just the prices for manufacturing. I don't think it's the components as much. They haven't fallen like they have in the past. Yeah. But I also think I'm talking big picture, not just like PS4 to PS5 comparisons.
Mm-hmm. Me either. I'm talking about because I have to buy computers
gaming
all the
for the last 30 years. Like the GameCube was $100. The reason that consoles were so cheap is because you'd give the razor to have them buy the blades, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The games were where the margin was. And I think we've seen that shrink. And now they can't afford to sell the hardware
1,000%
with such a low margin or at a loss because they're not making up for it as much as they used to on the other end. As the games cost more to develop, they keep going. But here's the thing about that. For the last 2 years, we've been talking about this because this has been all the rage, all the layoffs and everything. Here's the thing about that. It's almost like a self-serving fate because we hear these companies like these figureheads, Jim Ryan, Phil Spencer, well, the games cost too much to make and then cost too long to make. And we've got to find growth. You can't roll that back while keeping everything high without facing criticism. You can, but without facing criticism. Like there's a part of people that are like, well, just make shorter games. Like quit chasing this stuff, quit doing that.
Then
but if you do that, games. Are you going to make the games cheap? You're not going to do that. No. So then people are going to be like, no, you did all this. You raised all these prices because you said this. Now this isn't happening. So where's the return? And there is no return. The return is that's our profit. We're just going to keep that.
The reality, even making those shorter games doesn't cost that much less at this point.
Like I'm sure Astrobot cost significantly less than Last of Us. It did.
And they charged less.
You could make more Astrobots less Last of Us.
Was Astro 70? Was Astro $70?
I bought it. I don't remember. 60? I just bought it.
No, it's I want to say it's like 59. Is it 49? 49.
It's a little bit
cheap. It's not a full price game.
No. I don't remember.
But I think like what you guys are talking about right now, I think and then we'll get back to PS5 itself, but it's that the landscape, one from the gamer sense, like commenting on it, it's too toxic. And then the relationship between gamers and the businesses is broken. So it's like you want to make money, but you want to cut things. But we want to complain about everything. We want cheaper games.
You want to make money, but you also want to like raise the price on everything.
But that's what I'm saying. The whole thing is flawed. Every angle you flip it to, because it's like we want a cheaper console and we want cheaper games, but we also don't want to recognize that the cost of developing a game in the early 2000s and right now is completely different,
astronomically different. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so we don't see that, and all we do is complain.
Mm-hmm.
Now I haven't seen what Dev is seeing with like Sony's done and it's a wrap.
That's
but crazy. I've seen more of
I've seen a lot that I'm like,
they're fine. That's just very uninformed because like there's no sense, there's no reality where that makes
that's
sense.
The echo chamber. It could be the PS5, it could be someone's album that dropped next week. Everyone's getting canceled no matter what, because that's just reactionary internet. You just say everything's terrible all the time. But the reality is, Dev's right. This is for a small slice of the population, just like the PS4 Pro was. But all these models, I mean, we always have people who hang on to last gen or don't start the new gen until it's the last gen, where they're like, oh, now I can get a 4 because the 5 just dropped. So it's like all those exist, but it's like in the reality, it's just we got to get used to and start ignoring the bullshit, because that's really what kind of keeps this toxic cycle alive, where it's like it really ain't that serious. Like, to bring it back into the PS5 Pro conversation, what I'm going to say about it Doesn't mean I hate it. Okay, so I just want to preface with that. But honestly, when I saw everything that was like discussed, I was like, oh, I am the dev of this conversation. I don't care. Like, it's not for me. Things that Dev says, you guys talk about games, like he plays, and he's like, I'm not interested. But but when I say that, I'm saying for me,
1,000%.
Not for you. You want to get it. But for me, it's not for me. Like, my TV's kind of old. It's not that it's old, not for this earth, but for the club,
like Delvin?
And so, yeah.
Yes.
But so it's like, yeah, I can do. My TV does 1080. I don't think the refresh rate's where it's supposed to be. I don't think I'm going to get everything out of this. I'm going to get a Pro, and it's going to look exactly the same. It don't do it for me. My biggest distraction in this whole thing was I could not really focus on the PS5 stuff because Mark Cerny looked like an AI generated Garth. And I was like, this is really distracting me. Like, really. Go back and look. Go back and
look. He
look.
definitely looks like Garth.
But AI generated, because he had a sheen on him. Where
I watched the 4K version of the YouTube thing, and he actually looks like a human person instead of AI. Yeah, that's another. That's a whole other aspect.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. But like my things that I saw, where it's like, okay, here's the big one, and this is where I felt getting burned from Nintendo over the years, where now I'm not so quick to buy their stuff. A lot of promise, not a lot of payoff. They kept saying can. This can do this. This can do that. Just like when the PS5 came out, there were a lot of things it can do until they changed the box and said, yeah, it's not gonna. It can do 60. It ain't gonna, but it can.
It can do 8K.
Yeah, it can until they took it off the box. So it's like, it worries me when they provide a lot of can statements, because I want to hear it will, it must, because it goes back to Donnie's conversation when he said, like, are they going to he said something to the effect of, are they going to put like boundaries or parameters? Because I think there needs to be a firm, like, this will do 60, this will do whatever,
I think they will all do 60, because most of the games on PS5
they don't
run 60.
Until they don't.
So I think that's the whole purpose of the Pro modes. And like, one of the things, I was reading a lot of the stuff and watching a lot of the articles, like a lot of the games are going to have like multiple modes for Pro, where you have kind of like how we see now, where you have like the 40 FPS fidelity mode, you've got the 60 FPS performance mode, and then you have like the quality mode. I don't think that anything on Pro is going to do less than 60 frames with a quality button. So like the same like quality 40 FPS that we get now, that quality is now quality with 60. And then you have all these additional modes.
And that's the cynic in me speaking, because like I said before, we, from Sony directly in this conversation, we've heard a lot of can over the years, only to hear, I mean, it can. It's not gonna. If the developers decide, it could. And I feel like we're fed a lot of hope, but is it? I'd like to see it when it happens, and if it does, fantastic. And for those who buy it, love it, enjoy it, have a great time with it. But that really puts me back. And then with the price tag, it's just like, I get what it is when it comes to price, but it goes back to that conversation where we started off with, like, this shit's the Pro. Give me a drive, give me a stand. Like, to give me a Pro with less stuff is offensive. Like, nah, come on, man. Like, that disk drive ain't shit to add it on, because now I one thing I do see in my feeds, I don't know if you see this in yours, there seems to be a trend towards people buying the physical because things are leaving the digital. And so now that we're building more physical libraries again, and not just in the gaming space, but in like the sort of video space as well, we're going to need that media. We're going to need that platform to be able to play those things. It's almost like going back to vinyl. Now we got to buy record players again because we got to be able to play this thing.
Fewer and fewer places selling physical.
Yeah, but it's
still there,
and fewer and fewer customers buying physical.
Yeah, but
people
the market
aren't making
is there
physical either. The market is there, but people, like, developers aren't even make, like, Alan Wake did not come out physically. Like, you're going to start seeing more and more developers not even make physical.
It just cuts in their overhead.
But if you're Delvin handing Astrobot physically across your house, where's he gonna play?
there's a part of this though with the physical. I mean, I've got thoughts. I've got like 8 bullet points I want to get to, but just to touch on this.
And like I said, to preface too, or to recap, not that I hate this, just that's how I feel.
A big part of the offer that you would expect with an upgrade, obviously, is that you would expect people to trade in. The problem with not including the disk drive out of the box is that you sold physical disk drive PS5s, right? Mm-hmm. So you're expecting them you're passing that cost on to them. You're expecting people that already bought a PS5 that had a disc model that have physical games. Now for them to upgrade, now they have to buy the disc drive too. You know, it's an extra ask, you know, because they already have physical games. They have to buy the disc drive if they want to play their games on it, you know?
Yep. I think the only reason the PS5 really had a disc drive is for people who had PS4 physical games. I think if they could have got away without having a disc drive, they would have with the original.
I think if they could have got away with charging $6.99 for it out of the gate, they would have. Mm-hmm. I think you could make an argument that if I think PlayStation would get away with a lot of things if they could.
Yeah.
That's why they have that digital version of the PS5. They're like, here's one for with no disc drive, because I think in gaming they are truly trying to get away from the physical. I think the only ones really holding that torch for physical is Nintendo.
But if you're a person like me who's been spending less money on games, like I've been doing a lot better job of avoiding the FOMO. Like not buying out the gate and pre-ordering and shit like that. So then, because when you were talking about the Star Wars game, in that whole conversation, I remembered that I still had what's the third person one? That
Star
had like
Wars
a part
Jedi?
2. Yeah.
Jedi Survivor.
Yeah. That I still have that on disc, and I got it from Amazon for like $15. And so it's like, oh shit, I still need to play that. So for people like me who are trying to catch a deal, I don't got a disc drive. I'm sitting on an empty game, or I'm going to live in the previous generation. So I know that it still exists for me because I have it, but it starts to create weird scenarios.
Yep.
My thoughts, if I could jump in. And I would preface to saying I think I'm actually somewhat indifferent on this entire story. And actually this story is kind of unique in the sense that I think every opinion that I've heard on this story is almost valid. Outside of the PlayStation is doomed, like that's absurd. But like the people that are angry, I get it. The people that are excited, I get it. Yeah. I actually think maybe they're all correct. And I think it's just a matter of them. But I'll give you my thoughts, or at least the bullet points I wrote down, and honestly, just to give to Dev. I'm not bothered by the price. The price didn't bother me at all, not even a little bit. I think for what you're getting, what it can do, I think the price is pretty good. I think it's kind of, like I said before, it's kind of dumb the stand isn't in there. I know why it's not in there. I also think the price hurts a little bit more because of what Sony's done for the last 2 years. You know, they raised the price on every game. They raised the price on controllers. They raised the price on the console. They raised the price on the server. Like they're literally just raising the price on everything. Yeah. So the fact that like now they have a console with the price is so large, without the drive, without the stand, like it hurts a little bit more. But as I have said for many times now, anybody that listens to our show has heard me say it before. If you're Sony and you make the best video games in the world and you sell the most consoles in the world and you see people so happily, gladly spending $800 for a Steam Deck or an Ally or they're waiting in lines to get 4090s and shit, why wouldn't you raise the price? Like it's obvious. I know this doesn't apply to everybody. It's obvious there's a market out there that are willing to pay more than $500 for gaming, because it's everywhere else except traditional console gaming. It's everywhere else. Everywhere else in gaming, it's ubiquitous. And a lot of these people that are like 700's too much, they have Steam Deck OLEDs that they love to take pictures of and talk about how great it is. Mm-hmm. That's also $800. Like that's a little bit much to me. I don't think, if I could critique them, I don't think they did a good job at selling this to people at all. The presentation alone just felt like marketing, which isn't like Mark Cerny's strong point. You know, it's almost like you should have had a figurehead in there instead of Mark Cerny. When they talk about a technical presentation, I want to see Mark Cerny get into it, like nitty gritty, show me. And they kind of did, but not really. And it's so funny because like this console is like the Digital Foundry console, like if you will, like it's doing all of that. I think it's a really tough sell to be like, hey, and if you pause this game and zoom in here, this is why this console's better. It's like nobody fucking does that. As Dev talked, we've talked about ray tracing all. Nobody plays games like that.
Yeah, nobody plays
like it's so, and they focus so much on graphics, where I think the tangible benefit would have been to talk about performance. But to get back to the point that I made before, and back to your point, Chaufie, I actually will say that I disagree here with Dev. While I am sure that the up-res on the GPU side, like one, upscaling is going to lift a lot of resources on the GPU. I'm positive that we will have way more 60 games on the Pro than the base. Do I think that, is there a guarantee that everything? No. Everything will not run 60 on the Pro. That's not going to be a thing. They're not going to make that promise to you. There's a lot of CPU-bound games that just like, it's not a graphics thing. So those games aren't going to get there. And even other games. Again,
what games don't run at 60 in some kind of performance mode on the PS5 now?
In performance mode, like so you're gonna make the. I mean 4K 60. I mean 4K 60, like what they said, 4K 60. No. And you'll even, if you go back and watch it, you'll even notice that like it felt very intentional to not say everything will be 4K 60. They're like, like we hope to have it's there. So I think that's a part of it too. I would love to know, like 5 years from now, when we look back on this, like how much. I would love to have a quantified difference. Like this console ran 100 games better than this one. That would be really cool. I think the boost mode is important. Just like PlayStation 4 Pro, every game will get better some way. Mm-hmm. That's important. But I do agree with Delvin. The fact that they rolled this thing out here with Last of Us and Spider-Man and Final Fantasy, it's like, man, these are games that people have all like, especially when you talk about who this console is, right? You talk about it's a niche thing for those people have beaten those games are done.
Yeah.
Matt Piscatella put out let me get to my points, please. Or I want to get mixed up. Matt Piscatella did he had a tweet where he said that the PlayStation 4 Pro accounted for 13% of PlayStation 4s. So when we talk about a niche market, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about selling this console to 10% of PlayStation 5 owners, right? I would imagine those people that care enough to spend $700 on an upgrade have already beaten all those games.
Yeah, they already got a library.
So like how, it's a little lackluster, and it's just not that exciting. And I wish that they had more like literal performance measures to sell you with. Like, hey, you see this game right now on PlayStation 5 that runs at 36 frames a second. Now it's 60. And if you just did that over and over again, I think that would have been a better sell than, hey, the text in that sign in the distance is a little easier to read now. Those trees back there, you can see the leaves on it now. Like that was a really weird. That's a weird way of, I think, trying to pitch a console to people.
So to comment on some of that, I think that 10% or 13% of people are going to buy it, right? You have Tokyo Game Show on the 26th when pre-orders go live. You show all the really cool stuff, then you get even more hype for that small percentage.
Said that. You should have teased that.
I don't think they have to. I don't even think you need to tease it.
Nobody has to do anything. I'm just telling you, I don't think they did a good job of selling it.
This is what I think they did.
That's what I'm saying.
This technical presentation is for that small niche. Then you're gonna because it's gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out.
It is. It's gonna sell out.
Yeah. It's gonna sell out. Tokyo Game Show is going to hit, and then GTA is going to hit and bring everybody else in who's kind of on the fence.
Well, GTA is still a ways away. We don't even know how far away. It's at least a year.
How much longer then do you wait to announce the PS5 Pro? Like if you're trying to get it in people's hands by November,
I don't know. I'm not PlayStation. I don't know.
There's nothing to show right now. Then older stuff. There's nothing else that you could have done with this.
The other thing that I was going to say is, as you've said before, this console, like, hey, we want to give you the best of both. You've pointed out many times on the PlayStation 5 Pro that we have now, most first party games run at 4K 60 already. So it's going to run at 4K 60 better. It'll be more 4K or shinier or more reflections, but a lot of those games already do that. So that is kind of the law of diminishing returns, which is a PC thing. Like you keep slapping GPUs in there. You're not getting generational leaps. You're getting 10% leap. You're getting a little bit more, a little bit more. It's incremental. My last 2 points, and this is maybe bigger picture, so maybe not so much just on this presentation, because that's really my thoughts on the Pro. I'm fine for what it is. I think this is PlayStation trying to retain as much as they can from people that may be looking at the PC market. And I don't think this is their first attempt at that. I said the same thing when they released the Portal. I think the Steam Deck entered the chat and has changed things. And when the Steam Deck happened and kind of took off and got thing, I think Sony took notice. They saw how many people are playing their games on Steam Deck. And they were like, okay, we can't have people buying the games on Steam and moving to Steam. We want to keep them here. Release the Portal. We also can't have everybody going, well, God of War is better on PC all the time, so we need something to keep them around. So I think the whole idea is like they're kind of fighting competition on two fronts. On the lower end with the portables and the upcoming Switch 2, and on the higher end with people that are like, man, I love these games, but I could play them better if I got a PC, right? So they're trying to get something in there to stop people from doing that, which leads me to my final point, which is something we've been saying since like Xbox started talking about what they're doing. Man, the stage really, when you start to enter this price range, 700, 800 with a disc drive, 850 with a disc drive and a stand, right? When you start entering these prices, the table is set for Valve to do something. For some PC maker to do a Steam OS box for your living room. Like, it's right there for the taking if people are going to start peddling $800 consoles. And I think it's interesting that it's almost like a double-edged sword. On one hand, PlayStation's like, we probably want to retain people from going to PC. But by jumping into this level, you could risk with other competitors coming in that it may encourage people to go to PC. Because it's like, well, if you're going to spend $700, what's a little bit more to get more functionality? You know, like there's a slippery slope there that I think is interesting. I don't know how that's going to turn out, but I'm interested to follow it. I have no idea. I'm interested to follow it. But I think the Pro, my last thought, the Pro, what it's giving you, ray tracing, better performance, you're getting a lot for $700. Like, it's a lot. You can get a lot out of $1,000 PC, but you got to like work for it. You got to like maybe like some used parts or find some deals, and it's like a whole thing. You can't just buy it and it just be that good.
And you're not getting 4K 60. You're getting 1440p, hopefully 60.
I think you could probably get 4K 60, not ray tracing though. None of the extra stuff for sure.
You're not getting any of that.
But with upscale, it's upscaling. With upscaling, you can definitely get 4K 60 out of some games, not everything. But you won't, like I said,
60 Ti.
You won't get 46. You won't get 4K 60 out of every game on PlayStation 5 Pro either. It's not going to be a thing. It'll be a lot. There'll be a lot of them that will for sure, but it's not going to be everyone.
And two kind of points I want to tap in on. One, because when you brought up GTA, reminded me that I had seen something like on IGN, and they're already saying like, yeah, GTA is not going to be 60. That it will be impossible. It'll be locked at 30.
It remains to be seen. We got to see what they're doing.
Even on
depends
the Pro,
on what they're building.
Right.
It really depends on what they're building. Are they building to make a 60 frame game, or are they pushing the lever forward?
But it goes back to the conversation I was saying though, of like, to promise this when it's probably not going to be that. You can do 60, might not do 60.
Now the other thing, do 60 in a performance mode. It's just about what's the resolution. Like,
the crazier thing about this pitch is that everybody, I mean, GTA is going to be a juggernaut. It's going to move. Don't get me wrong. That seems to be the whole focus of this thing. But we've talked about it over and over and over again. The games that are doing numbers, the games that are retaining players, the games that are driving gaming right now aren't doing any of this. They don't give a shit about 4K and rate. They aren't those games.
Fortnite.
So it's like, what is the better approach here? Do you keep going chasing up, or should you be trying to come down? Find a way to make a cheaper entry and a price that you can reach people that play Fortnite and Minecraft and all the shit that they're actually playing. You know, the things that are actually moving.
The problem with that is that that's where they're chasing the live service games, trying to find something that fits.
I'm not chasing live service. I'm just chasing the customers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're trying to find a way.
They're like, hey, we've got a Pro
that's only on their console, not Fortnite, that pulls those customers in.
New players, new gamers, they're like, I play what I want to play on my phone.
Play on my iPad.
Like GTA. And I'm not saying GTA is going to do numbers. It's going to be numbers for a decade. But new gamers that are coming in, they don't care. That's for us.
They
I was going to say, these consoles are not they're not looking at the younger generation. They're really focusing on
for
us.
Sure. Yeah.
And then to keep in mind too, because this is like when everyone used to assume that all millennials were like 17 years old. Those Roblox kids, they're now hitting 20, and they're playing on their iPads. They're still playing fucking. Was it?
You gotta think this is free to play, folks. Their games run on devices they already have, and here you are. You're like, hey, $700. That's a crazy sell for. I think for that
they're like,
demographic.
I do everything on this thing. Like, no,
what the fuck am I going to give you $700 for?
Yeah, exactly. But Dev, I wanted to tap in with this because, and this is why I was kind of looking forward to this conversation, because when they started talking about like GPU and all that stuff, I don't live in that world. I don't understand it. So from
I wanted more. Like I was like, where's the Mark Cerny hour of silicon talk? What is this shit?
But what I wanted to ask you was this. From someone who builds, like, knows how to build a PC, understands these components. With what they gave us, how much would that cost if you were doing that in a PC? Like, is this a comparable price or not even? Or can you not even do it?
It's hard because the problem with the GPU is there's no GPU that does that.
Okay.
The way that they've set their GPU up, there's nothing. The closest thing is like the Radeon like RX 7800, and that graphics card alone is about $400 to $500. So you're gonna have to buy that, and then if you want to get the CPU, you're looking at probably about another $200 for the CPU. Then you got to get the motherboard. You can try to skimp on your motherboard, which is like another $150. Then you got to get 16 gigs of RAM at least, which is probably going to cost you another $100. And you got your power supply, your case. And if you're playing on PC, you're not plugging that into your TV. You also got to buy a monitor. So like the idea of trying to buy a $700 PC to compare with this, you're really not going to be able to do that and get the performance and the ray tracing and the things that the PlayStation is offering. Yeah. You're looking at more like an $1,100 PC that may be discounted to $799, and then you still got to buy the monitor, which if you want to get a monitor that's going to do 4K, 120 hertz, you're looking at least like $400 to $500 for your monitor at the very least. Where
I just question how many people, again, how many people care about the trees in the background, ratchets, extra crowd size, like that Last of Us thing. That was a Digital Foundry moment. They literally paused Last of Us, zoomed in on a sign in the background that nobody has ever read or cared to read, and they were like, "Now you can see it." And they're like $700. Like, nope, that's a really bad way of trying to pitch something.
The worst part about that is you can't even see that on YouTube. Especially if you're like most people who go into the settings and make sure they're watching a 4K version of the video.
Yeah.
Like if you don't do that, it's
much easier to pitch frame rates, frame pacing, fluidity. You know, the stop and zoom stuff. Like we knew that when they started talking the ray tracing.
He kind of talked about that. We're saying like if you're playing it in quality mode on PS5, it's 30
but it was notional.
Choppy.
He just talked about it.
Yeah,
that should have been the focus. That's what you show, and then you just talk about how everything is sharper. Like it's almost like flip flop that, and I think the pitch goes differently. It's a little different
because it had my whole mind kind of like going back to what Donnie had said. Like, well, does this get you going into like, well, how much is a PC? What would this cost me if I go in that direction?
Once you start getting there, $700-800. I mean, I would I play my games on PC. I also think Dev is correct. I think you could probably get there for 1,000, 1,200. You could probably do something in the same space, probably. But the hard part, in addition to just all the components and the tangible pieces of the PC, the harder part is that PCs are just different. It's not a console. Yeah, the entire OS and the drivers and everything aren't built to just run games, right? Yeah, it's a PC. It can do email and browse the web, and you can run all the emulators and all. So you have to account for all of that. So there's more in there. But
to boil it down even further, that's why you have my Steam Deck, because I was like, this mini PC is too much for me. I want a plug and play.
And that's what PlayStation is doing. They are trying to have an offering here for anybody that is tempted. If you play Final Fantasy and you're like, this is shit, or you're scared about GTA, or like me, you played Dying Light 2 and you're like, this ain't it. They have an option here to keep you. They're like, hey, for a little bit more money, we can give you most of what they have over there.
It's them trying to create a stopgap. That's really what it is.
It's like retention. I think it's a move for retention. It's not, we're going to bring in new players with this. It's we're going to keep players from leaving.
Yeah. Because I think at the same time too.
I was gonna say, even with the PC, like there's so many more components. Like I asked Johnny yesterday, does he use a program called Afterburner to overclock his graphics card? And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I go to Steam and I press go. So it's even more nuanced than that. Like if you buy the high-end PC, it's a plug and play for the most part. There's still some stuff you gotta do.
That's a lot.
But if you get that $1,100 PC and you're trying to eke that performance out, you've got to understand overclocking. You've got to understand the different programs you need to run to actually get the performance you need. So there's just so much more to it than that plug and play experience.
That's like buying an old beater and like fixing it up versus buying the scat pack out the gate built in.
Which is what I did. I was like, I don't want to do that. Just give me the thing. Dev, at any point did you, because I was thinking, like, they were like, if you zoom in, the clarity in the background, I'm like, dude, these are consoles. People sit 10, 15, 20 feet away from this thing. They're never going to see it.
I ain't seeing that.
Even if it's sharper, they're not going to see it. They probably can't see. Like, they're like, we have glasses. We can't even see that far.
Because I guess what's the percentage of people who are like gametographers? You know, for them, they're probably like, this shit is tight. But I'm not taking pictures of the game.
That's who it's aimed at. It's aimed at the people who do the pixel peeping and want to do all of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's a Digital Foundry console. It's like they made a console for Digital Foundry.
Their video is great. I loved their video on it. Like it's good. And what's his name? The main guy who didn't get hands on though. It was just a podcast. They didn't get hands on. It's just a podcast. Basically, their take on the thing on
what they saw.
Announcement
I got
and whatnot. And it's funny because the main guy, the host, like he's like, I went out and got my drive, I got my stance. Like they're excited about it in that way. And it's really funny because this is who the console's for. It's for those people who are just like, let me see all the prettiness, let me see what this thing can do, let me put it through its paces, and I want to have like the Chaufie say, I got the PS5 Pro. It's for those people. But most casual gamers who are sitting 20 feet away from the screen, like they can't see that. They don't
honestly, even the people that don't, if you're sitting 15, 20 feet from the screen, you're not going to really, unless you have really great vision, you're not going to notice. Like I'm looking at Delvin and I, we both got glasses.
Yeah.
You know, like you go to the doctor's office, the eye doctor, and they sit you at the other side of the room. And they're like, hey, read that top line.
And I say, no,
you're struggling. Yeah. That's what it's going to be like. Even if they make it sharper, even if it's in crystal clear 4K, you're still not going to see it.
Same. When I was watching the videos, when I was watching the videos today, I didn't like one that they did you saw two close-ups for like a half a second, and then it zoomed out to the smaller, like more distant images, and I was like, leave the closer ones, I can see those. But when you're zooming out to those further images, it looks exactly the fucking same.
It's a further case on why I would say it like what you were pointing at. It's different when you piece a game. I was trying to explain this in our Discord yesterday. I sit here in front of this television. I have a 42-inch display. It's 18 inches from my face. I can notice the clarity. I'm right in front of the fucking screen. Nobody that plays it, very few people on console play that way. You don't have your face 12 inches from a monitor. It's different. When you sit.
Yeah, that's deaf.
When you sit 10 feet away in your recliner and you pick up your controller, you're not going to notice it. Even if it's better, you're not going to notice it.
Yeah. What you will notice is fluidity.
It's a tough thing. Yeah, you will notice that it's smoother. Fluidity,
you'll notice like response time, things of that nature.
Exactly, which is what I thought. Yeah. I thought their whole thing should have been that, and it was like odd to see them be like, "Oh, it'll be better," and then they just kind of moved. Like he kept talking about 4K and graphics. He just kept going on about graphics.
Yeah. The big three: the graphics, or no, the AI, the GPU, and the super sampling.
Upscaling will do a lot.
It was a technical preview. So it was him trying to give a high level overview of the tech that's in the PlayStation 5 to make games look better and perform better. That's really
I wanted like
what it was.
The tear down. I wanted like the thing where it pulled apart and they were like, this is what we did. And, like see the die and, like hello from, Tokyo or whatever. Like I wanted to see the stuff.
Yeah.
And I was a little disappointed. I was like, oh, this is like a commercial,
Yep. Here's this high-level technical overview for the people who understand the tech, and then for those of you that don't, it's a faster, prettier console. It comes at a premium price.
Yeah, and I don't mean to. I hope it doesn't sound like I'm poo-pooing it because I think fluidity-wise, I was saying that before this. I am surprised how many people are upset. I understand the price, but like we've known about this console for a long time. We've been talking about it like all year. So I was a little bit I think a little bit surprised to see so many people so angry. They're like, "What is PlayStation thinking?" It's like we've known what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Like, are you shocked? They just
Delvin
raised the price of the console. Like, I'd be more upset about that than this. Mm-hmm. Like, they took the console they sold you, and they're like, now it just costs more. Like, what the fuck?
And we've never seen that before. This is unprecedented. Yeah. Gaming is in a weird space.
This week they raised the price on all controllers. They just cost more now. Like, what the actual fuck? Like, I'd be more upset about that than they made a $700 console.
It's the gaming is in a weird place, and it's like PlayStation is really the only one trying to course correct to try to get prices in line with like what things really need to be, and people are upset about it. But
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say they're the only one, but they are definitely like in their own space.
They're leading it. They're kind of
because Nintendo isn't making hardware at that level that costs that much. They're not making games that cost that much to develop. They're not like Nintendo has been like, nah, we're gonna make 1080p games, we're gonna sell them to you, and you're gonna buy them.
And you're gonna enjoy them.
Yeah, it was a tweet or a thread that I posted in the Nintendo Shack. They were like, PlayStation goes through all this energy and everything, this 700 consoles that they'll sell 10 million of. Nintendo shows up. It's like our games will be in 1080p sometimes, 100 million units sold.
Yeah. And that's the difference between the two companies. Like Sony has always been a boutique company. Like they've never been anything less.
Gran Turismo, they pushed that boundary.
Yeah, they've always wanted to be this boutique high-end company. That's been them from the jump. Like you think about the PlayStation, it was a CD player. Like that was cutting edge in '95 when that came out.
And then Blu-ray. I told you when these consoles launched, when they were doing that game of chicken, I was like, they wanted to raise the price. Like I don't think PlayStation. The only reason the PlayStation was at $499 is because they had to. They didn't want to be there. Like that was like forced. That was their hand was forced. They didn't want to do that. I'm sure of that, and I think it's all been proven since they like every opportunity they get to raise the price since then they've taken.
Yes,
Yeah, because to go into that boutique conversation as well, like, I mean, look at the price of the Portal with how much it doesn't have. And then that's a
huge margin getter for them.
Yeah, and then the earbuds that only work or that are only the only ones compatible with the Portal because it doesn't have Bluetooth.
I think
those are mad.
They're gonna have a handheld.
Too.
They're gonna come with a handheld too. They're gonna do a handheld, a real handheld.
I think so. Yeah. And
I wouldn't be surprised if they did that to like extend this generation. Because I'm honestly I'm of two minds. I could see them doing a PlayStation 6 whenever Xbox does something that they said they're gonna do, just to stay current. But also, I honestly think with where we are technically with games, I think the PlayStation 5 Pro could have long legs. You could understandably buy that console and play that thing for 5 or 6 years, maybe.
I'm more leaning towards that. This is them being like, we're going to extend this console generation out. People are still buying because we're at the point where like the more power you put in it, people aren't going to be able to notice that. We're no longer at the point where you can show a video and people are like, oh, this looks and plays better. You don't know. You can't tell.
At some point, CPU upgrades, I think, may like push them on that. On like they may have to go to another generation. But like I wouldn't be surprised. Like most games, probably for the foreseeable future, will run great on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Period.
Yeah,
will just run great on it.
So
maybe here's the thing. Maybe it's not 4K 60. Maybe it's checkerboarded 1440 60.
Yeah, 1440p.
That's still when you're 10 feet, 15 feet from your TV, you don't notice. Like it looks great. You know.
So now that we've had this announcement, how long before we start having the PlayStation 6 conversation and expecting that release? Because you know that's going to come quick. That's just like when you get married and people start asking when you're having kids.
Do they want to keep arms race with Xbox? Or are they happy with where they are and they're like, are they cemented in their market lead? I think they are.
I think they're going to pull the Nintendo. Like we'll release the fucking next thing when we're ready.
Yeah, so I would say if I had to guess, at least 3 years away. If I had to guess, at least.
I'm thinking 2028 at the earliest. Personally, I say 4.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
and
I mean
especially
that doesn't sound bad to me. Like
if they want to do a handheld, if they want to do a handheld that ties into the PlayStation 5 and can do certain things like that, and actually like that's its own thing too. So I can see that even extending it.
The stopgap in the next 2 years. So you do that. You do the 5 Pro this year. Skip
a year after. Let the Switch come out, and then the year after the Switch, you have something out there too. And here's the thing: they're going to want to they want to compete with Switch. I don't think they want to cede that, but it's not really the Switch. At least in my mind. In my mind, it's Steam.
Yes.
They're trying to stop people from buying Steam Decks because buying Steam Decks leads you to buying PCs. And buying PCs gets you out of console. They don't want that. So I think they're going to come up with a Steam Deck competitor to try and keep you in the garden. They want to keep you there.
Yep. They want to keep you on PlayStation.
Think about it.
They're reticent to put their games on PC. They don't really want to do that.
Yep.
They're doing it because they know they have to.
But they've got 25, 30 years of people.
I'm right here.
Right.
They've got 20 years of people building libraries that will keep them if they just keep providing them options to not leave.
Yeah, I think the brilliant thing about them making a handheld is they can price it right at the same price as the Steam Deck. Like the Steam Deck and the Ally. Mm-hmm. So you done paid $700 for a PlayStation 5 Pro. You done paid $500 for a PlayStation handheld, and you're just already in the ecosystem. And you just keep doing it.
They're trying to be they're the Apple of console gaming.
Especially if it cross buys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you can buy one copy of the game and play it in all these different devices, that'll keep people around. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think they should. They need to create their own PC launcher.
So that's $1,100 right there.
Yeah, just to keep people. If you're going to go that way, still keep them. You still need to keep them. So I wouldn't be surprised if they attempt to do that either. Yeah.
I'm getting one.
Are you?
I'm gonna get one, and it's more so because I want to be able to have my kids play PS5. Like my son is really getting into gaming.
Oh, you're gonna do the daughter. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, my daughter is really starting to enjoy games more, and I'm like, this PS4 is like really just not it. So I'm like, I want to get the Pro so I can give them the PS5 and like allow them to have a much better gaming experience and play some things that they haven't been able to play before, and then I'll have mine in my office. No.
Damn it, you don't even let your kids play Astro. God damn.
Wow.
That's what I've always done
on PS Plus.
That's what I've always done with my Nintendo stuff. I upgrade and pass it down. Like my wife's playing my old Switch. Jack's got my old Switch. I've got a Switch headed to the in-laws this year for Christmas. Like their kids are getting one of our old Switches and a bunch of games. Yep. So makes sense.
And then I have a Blu-ray player in my living room, a 4K Blu-ray player finally.
Okay. Well, I think we did it. If you're out there, if you're excited, be excited, man. Go get your console. It'll be great.
Life is short. Enjoy what you enjoy. Spend your money. You can't take it.
We still have more PlayStation news. PlayStation non-essentials this month. Plucky Squire, Under the Waves, which I wholly recommend. I love that game. Night in the Woods, again, I love that game. Chernobylite is also good. Wildcard Football is not good. Space Engineers, Road 96, Ben 10, and then Far Cry 5, which I adore. That game is incredible if you've never played it. And then if you're on the premium tier, you can get Pistol Whip for VR, Secret Agent Clank on PSP, Sky Gunner on PS2, and Mr. Mosquito on PS2.
Plucky Squire. That's all I heard.
Plucky Squire is good.
Under the Waves, do those. Night in the Woods.
I heard Under the Waves really good.
I really liked that game. It was really good. I think you'd love it. Yeah, I do. I think you would love it.
Isn't that the Quantic Dream game?
Yeah, it's published. Yeah. Astro runs wild on reviews. Metacritic was at a 94 when I wrote it down. I have no idea where it's at now. I will say the credits have spoiled what DLC may come for Astrobot. I'm not going to say it here, but if you care, you can look into it. But there are several franchises and games that are credited that aren't shown in the game.
The Avengers
probably means it's going to be in the thing. It's not really all that spoilery. You could guess, but I won't.
Nick Fury shows up. Talks about the Avengers.
As we mentioned, PlayStation did increase the price on all DualSense controllers this week. We just woke up and they just cost more.
I'm glad I've already got 4 of them.
I don't like that. I don't like that they keep like that. I don't like. That bothers the shit out of me.
$5 ain't shit.
But it's not. It's a principle. It's not the $5, and it's the strategy. It's the consoles. It's the $5. I mean, here's the thing. We didn't talk about 700 here, dude. This shit is over $1,000 in Canada and the UK. The PlayStation 5 Pro.
I don't live in those places. That's not my problem. That's not my monkeys. Not my problem.
We're talking like 2 PlayStation 5s or a Pro. Like, that is insane.
Yeah.
Move here.
In maybe good news, it looks like Sony is about to do recertified consoles on the direct store, so you can buy used consoles that they've refurbished, and they are $100 off.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That's something.
That's how Donnie's gonna get his.
Maybe. Destiny update, Dev. They did stuff. There's something came out.
Nothing came out. They've just finally announced what they're going to be doing going forward. They teased this thing called Destiny Frontier or Codename Frontiers, and it's just them in their new way. We knew Final Shape was supposed to be like the end of the Light and Dark saga, but that wasn't the end of Destiny. They're still doing more things. So basically, they're moving away from this big expansion every year, and they're going to be doing 2 smaller expansions per year. So starting in summer of next year, they're going to have one called Codename Apollo. That's going to kick off the new multi-year saga for Destiny or whatnot. Then later that year, you'll also have Codename Behemoth in the winter. So with those, instead of having like one big thing where you have all these 4 seasons, you're actually going to have 2 smaller things with a bunch of updates with those. So at least 2 major updates within the actual season. So you're going to get more content. It's going to be smaller, but it's going to be way more constant. At least that's what they're going for. And it's going to be new stories. They're not going to do like the one-shot like campaign story. It's going to be less linear, where you're going to be able to go out and find all these different stories. There's going to be some stuff that is more like a like horde mode, like all kind of stuff. They're just adding a bunch of different game modes to it and trying to change up how they do their storytelling.
It's like a bunch of side quests instead of main quest stuff.
So I think it's a combination. So there will be like main quest stuff, but there's also going to be all these smaller stories that are all going to tie into other things that are coming down the pipeline. So they're like setting up a bunch of plot points to probably have them all pay off at some point. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting. We'll see. I need to hear more. I love Destiny. I love Destiny's world and its stories. So I'm excited to see what they do. Because I still love that world. So we'll see, and we'll find out next summer, because we still have seasonal content that's coming. Like, so there's still new content with the Final Shape, and the last couple of they're not seasons, they're called episodes. The last 2 episodes are supposed to tie in and lead us into the next thing in the summer. So nice. Destiny is still moving.
Will they put Concord in Destiny?
They should.
2 different companies, so
just put the game. It doesn't matter anymore. Just put the game in there.
Scott. What about No
Scott?
Scott?
Here you go. It's in there.
Should have got one of those controllers. Sean says, "Did we talk about confused grandmas yet? As a tradition of all consoles that come out, how will grandma just
look?
Determine
Here's the thing. We're the grandmas and grandpas at this point.
Yeah,
so no,
we know.
There ain't no
more than the young folks do.
No more.
Yeah. We were able to decipher between like the Wii and the Wii U. We'll be okay.
Yeah,
well, fuck. If you know the differences in the Final Fantasy releases, you should never. Yeah. Like that's my eternal thing. Anytime I ever hear anybody bitch about a game, about a naming convention of a console or game, I'm like, do you know the difference in Final Fantasies? You know which one was which, and 6 is actually 3 and 4? Because if you know that, the fuck out of here with that nonsense.
That's true.
Or like who's the dude?
That's
with the big
actually confusing. Which Call of Duty is which and which consoles. That's not confusing. It's not confusing people.
Or I was gonna say like the Kingdom Hearts when it's like it's a 1.5 remake.
Yeah, that's actually
I'm like, wait, what?
Huh?
Yeah, you start playing Dragon Quest and you realize Dragon Quest is actually like Dragon Quest 3, and there's 3 more that never came over. They just never named
Dragon Warrior. Yeah,
that's real shit. That's really confusing.
Yeah.
Start talking about that. Normalize talking about that.
Yeah,
because nobody cares about that. They just know all.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get the news out of the way. Minecraft is updating. They are also changing from having one big update in the summer to having multiple updates throughout the year. They're working on a native PS5 version of Minecraft, and Minecraft Live will now be a more focused broadcast.
They also have a price increase
for Minecraft.
We'll greatly appreciate a native PS5 version of Minecraft because they love
There you go. Game. So, one thing I didn't ask about the PS5 Pro. Are they going to have so when you have a PS5 Pro and you open a game, you're still going to have the quality or the performance mode options, right? Is there also going to be a Pro mode, or is that just going to be automatic?
So Mark
it's 3 modes?
Multiple. He said there's several games that he's been working with right now that have multiple modes.
That's if they get patched.
More modes.
Like that's if they get patched. They have to be patched for that.
Yeah. So there's 50 games coming that are going to have a PS4.
Right.
PS5.
I'm just thinking like the boost mode. Like if you open up an old PS, because the way the PlayStation 5 like the system works of like the PS copy, the PS, I don't think that's like the most eloquent or the most elegant solution. So I'm thinking about like that. Like on the older games, those aren't going to be automatically there. These are only for the patch. Then you have those options. The older games will just do something better. Like if it has an unlocked frame rate, it'll be better. Okay.
Yeah, it'll just default in or something.
It'll just do something. Hopefully, like will Infamous be any better? We'll see.
Like from probably, I can see Infamous being like 120 frames. Like that wouldn't shock me. That wouldn't shock me at all.
Ubisoft has updated. They've put out an update on what they plan to do with Crew 2 and Motorfest. There was lots of people were mad when the Crew got delisted. Because of the online servers and everything. So when they launched Motorfest, they told people that we're going to have an offline play mode, and now they've announced that that'll be coming to not just Motorfest, but the Crew 2 as well. By the way, you can buy the Crew 2 on any storefront right now for $1. Starting November 6th, Motorfest will get 50% better or bigger as they add a new island of Maui for free. So if you pick up the Crew Motorfest, it's just going to get 50% more Motorfest in November. And then there's an offline mode that's on the way. They didn't announce when it's going to come, but it's on the way. I'm actually really excited about that. That'll be something that gets me back in the game. Not because I don't mind being online. It's just like they have like that. It's just like social gaming, right? That we all just come to expect now. Like you get in there and there's a hub and there's people running around and you're out there when you drive, there's other drives. I would like to just be like, you know what? Can I just turn this shit off? And just go play my game, especially like that hub launch area. Sean and I were talking about this on earlier on his stream. One of the things that I really like about Space Marine, if people are like it's kind of short and stuff, like the thing I love about it is simple. If you read any reviews about Space Marine, you may have come across a few headlines that are people are like, Space Marine 2 is a great 360 game, and some people would take that and apply it like in a derogatory term. And I think some people are like, they're trying to use that as like a, like a stone to throw.
Yeah,
I think of it as
didn't the 360 have an amazing library? Like, okay, well, sure.
When I read that, what comes to mind for me is you're not launched until a fucking season pass and a battle pass and costumes and like, it's like, do you want to play campaign or multiplayer? That's it. Like there's not all this shit on the screen popping. It's not Call of Duty, it's not
like that.
Here's 18,000. Like it's simple. Like I'd like to get back to that, like it's like I think that's a good thing.
We need to definitely have more of those games in the space.
Yeah, I think some people are like, see, this is 360. Like, man, I could use more of that shit. Plug me back in. Plug me back in.
Big dumb stuff. That's
I want to go back.
Run around. Yeah,
I want to go back. We got Gears and shit every year. We got 3 GTAs. Like, I want to go back. Put me back. Can we just? What if they just release the PS3 and the 360 again? Like, what if they just like, you know what?
The sad part is the PS3 will still be $600.
Oh no. Dead Island 2 Neighborhood Watch was the Horde mode is coming with a free update in October 22nd. Warhammer Space Marine 2 has become the most played Warhammer game in terms of peak concurrent players on Steam ever. That is a huge thing, not because it's the most played game ever, because there's 80,000 Warhammer games. There's so many Warhammer games. For this one to jump out and be the most played, that's awesome. I hope that signals to them to like, yo, do more, do this again. Hopefully we don't have to wait another 10 years for Space Marine 3 or whatever. In lesser exciting news, Game Pass Standard tier launched this week. And I'm salty about this one. I don't like this.
The way your tone just shifted.
I fucking hate this. I mean, I hated it when it was announced, and I'm not going to jump off of this thing. Chaufie, do you know what the Game Pass Standard tier is?
No.
Yeah, that's like your most basic one, right?
No, it's not. No. See, this is why I fucking hate this. The Game Pass Core.
Moment.
It's like 3 levels, right? Or something.
Oh, it's like I think there's like 5 now if you count PC.
God damn.
Game Pass Core is the basic level. You get like 20 games in Xbox Live. Here's what Game Pass Standard is, Chaufie. Let me try to sell you on this. You pay them for Game Pass, You cost the same price Game Pass used to cost, except they don't put any day one games in there. They'll put them in there whenever they feel like it. They won't even tell you when they come.
Oh yeah, okay, yes, the one that where it's like when they said something last week about some game and they were like, yeah, like it might come, maybe
One day.
Whenever we think so. They won't even commit to 6 months, a year, 18. No, that's whenever we feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what this tier is? This tier is when a game benefits us to be exclusive, we'll keep it. And when a game isn't doing well, we'll put it in your service and you can keep paying us for it. I hate this.
This is called the loser tier, baby.
It just goes against the core of what Game Pass was. It's the whole point of the whole fucking thing.
Need all of these tiers. It should just be Game Pass.
It's just gonna be
Sean and I were talking earlier. I think he said Xbox
Mahjong
has lost the plot with Game Pass, and I think that's literally the most perfectly way of putting it.
Yes,
that's it. Nailed it. I can't do it any better than Sean did. I hate this. I hate it so much. God, I wish I could tell somebody. I really wish I could.
You did. Told us.
Part of me,
the 7.
When Game Pass launched, they're like, we have a service. It's gonna have 100 games. Why can't they make this that? Yeah. We've got 100 games, and our first party games are going. You don't get every game, but our first party, do that. Don't just give up. It just pulls the plug on the whole thing. I don't like it. I don't like it. Delvin, a Yakuza game is coming to mobile. You excited?
No, I'm not playing no shit.
It's called Yakuza Wars. Okay,
fuck that.
It'll probably be there at Tokyo Game Show. And in the absence of trying to make this not a 4-hour show, Dev, that's the news.
All right.
Yay.
All right, time to move into the Rude Day segment. Rude has a scoring update. He says, Devin and Delvin got the override on the PS5 price.
Yeah.
Donnie and Delvin got NBA 2K25 right as it comes in a surprising 80 on Meta on Xbox and PS5, 73 really on PC. Also, not many reviews, with 11 being the most on PS5. Was I not
do it for the 11?
Show? Or did I just pick the under to spike?
You picked the under.
Okay, I could.
Yeah, you probably just counterpicked.
Yeah, I was saying, I think also, listening back, I think you were like, I'm just doing the opposite of everybody.
Yeah, didn't work out.
I'm not winning this thing. Delvin also got a point for predicting the Chiefs over the Ravens.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Ravens got robbed.
Yeah,
they did.
Robbed in my favor.
Yeah, they did.
And then
some bullshit.
All of us got the underwrite for Harry Potter Quidditch, and Donnie, you got the overwrite on Astrobot.
Fuck yeah, I did. I love that Astrobot's going to be the best game of the year. It's going to get all the awards. Dev's just going to have to watch it. He's just going to be subjected to it all year long.
That's just Astrobot all over the place.
It's made like Mario. I don't see it. It doesn't exist, baby. So the scores right now are Astro Donnie with 39.
Yeah.
That costs too damn much. Delvin with 36. And corporate Devin with 32.
Dev gave up.
Blind Ryan.
Yep. So right now, over or under on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero at 82.5. The last DBZ fighting game got an 87, which was Dragon Ball Fighter Z. And then Budokai and Tenkaichi series usually averages between 70 and 80. So, Chaufie, 82.5, over or under for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, if you even know what that is.
Okay, so first I want to add this in. If I get it right, Dev gets double points. If I get it wrong,
no, you don't get to make these.
No, hold on, no. I'll make what I want.
Gets to decide if he wants this.
I'm just pitching it. He can agree or disagree. So I'm just saying Dev gets double points, but if I get it wrong, Delvin loses double points.
The fuck?
So
no,
I'm pitching. That's what I'm pitching.
This is a terrible idea. I'm actually catching up.
I'm here for it.
You're getting a chance to get a bigger lead. That's what you're getting.
I'm just saying. I mean, Donnie gets to be white.
Making the rules as we go.
What do you want me to do?
This situation. So
let's listen. If I get it right, I get 48 points.
Yeah.
If I get it wrong, Delvin lose 400 points.
This sounds like let's just fuck Delvin over.
He's like black on black crime. Y'all fight it amongst yourselves. That's basically what it turns into.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna say
be your own people, Delvin.
I'll go with over because those nerds love that shit.
Okay. Donnie, what say you?
No, I hate it. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna take the under. I don't know why. I got a bad feeling, man. I think it looks amazing. Every time I see it, I'm like, this looks incredible, but for some, it's just a hunch. I don't know. I got a bad hunch.
anime games usually don't review good. Even the Dragon Ball ones. The last one.
People hated Kakarot. I really like that game.
Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. Like the Dragon Ball games usually don't review well. They get like in the 70s. That's the average.
Yeah. 7 sounds right.
Yeah.
Expecting this thing to be like 84, 85, that seems.
Yeah. Fighters was an exception to the rule because it was phenomenal. But
the funny thing is, I didn't like that one.
That's the one everybody liked. That was the one people liked a lot. So I was gonna go down there.
Yeah, Kakarot got a 73 on Metacritic.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because even the Budokai games weren't getting great numbers. They were
Kakarot
like 7.
is my favorite Dragon Ball Z game.
It's a good game.
I love
really
that
good.
game. It's like Dynasty Warriors, but Dragon Ball. Shit, it's fucking fun, man.
It's fun.
And
that's crazy.
It has these DLCs with like Bardock and shit, where that has its own original story that doesn't follow that. You can just make shit happen. It's super fun, and it's like there's a lot of game too. You can play the game forever.
I'm going to go with the under on this one because if Rude Days accepts Chaufie's offer, Delvin's losing points either way.
Rude Days, don't do that shit, man.
No, do it, man. Do it.
Rude Days has the opportunity to be the funniest guy tomorrow. Let's do the funniest shit ever.
Oh, man.
They're coming for you, Delvin.
Is the over under 85.5 for Dragon Age the Veilguard. Dragon Age Inquisition the meta was around 86. That was a long time ago.
That was like 20 years ago.
So Sean is in the chat, in which I have to say, Sean, I apologize because I also don't have a great feeling about Dragon Age. I don't. I think the expectations of this is a game of the year game, and for whatever reason, and I wouldn't know how to recognize a good versus bad Dragon Age game to begin with, but what I saw, I was like, I don't know.
It says BioWare has completely lost the magic.
Ooh,
I don't know.
That'd be bad.
That's an under.
I'm not saying it'll be bad. I'm just saying it's not going to be upper 80s is what I'm saying. We'll see.
Yeah, 85.5 is high.
It is high.
But
Pretty
I get
high.
it because Dragon Age Inquisition scored an 86.
86 means you're getting 9s, but Dragon Age Inquisition was game of the year.
Yeah.
And it got 86. Like when you're getting 86, that means you're getting 9s.
Yeah. So, I mean, people are really hyped about this Dragon Age game. I've seen good previews. I don't know. So, Chaufie, what say you?
Under.
It's a good line.
Under. Okay. Donnie.
Under.
Delvin.
You know what? I'm going to say over. I feel like, I think that it's been that long for this Dragon Age game to come out. I feel like it has to be really good or a complete mess.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's been a complete mess, but I'm wondering if the characters don't hit for people.
I think the characters are hidden. Like the people who I know that are in the Dragon Age are loving this shit.
Yes.
Like, they're eating it up.
Okay.
And I think I'm going with the over as well because I think on the heels. Sean put in the chat 4 out of 10. Kind of.
Yeah.
What did they do that with Star Wars or something?
Yeah, with Star Wars.
People were mad about that.
Sure.
Greg Miller gave it
I mentioned it earlier too, where I was like 4 out of 10.
Christ.
The fuck.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm going with the over because I think on the heels of Baldur's Gate 3, there's a lot of excitement around this type of stuff, and this has a lot of the same horny nonsense.
I worry that people are like, after Baldur's Gate 3, this doesn't hold up.
That's a good point.
Will.
So I'm thinking like a Witcher Fallout 4 situation.
I think
think
people just been waiting for this so long. I think people just give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, hey, this game has been changed like multiple times.
Yeah, it has. Well, I hope for Josh's sake, it's amazing, and Sean's, because they love this shit.
Hope for Chris.
Great.
I hope for Chris.
I need BioWare to come out with a good game, man. It's been too long. A game that I can be like, yeah,
different BioWare.
We need the logo to be good again.
Yeah,
make BioWare great again.
They started to feel like the Jets. What's going on?
You're not lying. It has been. They've had a couple. There's been a couple swings like,
couple of butt fumbles
over there, guys.
Like, what's going on?
Yeah, that's fair. Right. Good point.
All right. So, Rude Days, we'll hear from you soon. Let us know as soon as you can about accepting or denying Chaufie's his pitch.
What is it? Negative 69 points.
Yeah, something like that.
Ooh, days.
Taking away all of Delvin's points if he gets it wrong.
This is like some Mario Party shit. Like a roll of the dice, Delvin goes right back to 0. They just take all them coins away like immediately. Delvin's like, I didn't fucking do anything. You ever play Mario Party? That game is the most evil fucking game.
It really is.
Your whole day up.
I would be so mad, but it would be so funny. I couldn't even be mad. Like,
It's pretty diabolical.
I would be livid.
And then Dev is just like unattainable because
Dev
his
just
scores
springs
doubled.
boards into the lead.
Let's go.
I didn't know.
That's hilarious.
We call that a DEI hire around here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's about equity, Rude. Do the right thing.
Bring back affirmative action.
Oh man.
Glass ceilings, everyone knows.
All right, let's jump into these questions. D-Life says, where will you be and what will you be doing when the video game crash happens?
I was going to say, where were you when the towers got? We're not doing
Where
that.
were you
Yeah,
on
definitely.
9/11?
Where will I be?
Well, it's the 12th now, actually, but
No, not here. It's not.
not here, not there. And they made it there.
Nope, we're still in the past,
I'm in the future.
which is funny too because we're 1 minute away from 9:11 p.m.
Yep.
Mm. Wow.
9/11.
Deep.
Yeah, man, we went there. Got meta,
Yeah, man, oof.
What was the question?
meta world peace.
Yeah. Just fitting for this podcast.
Dude, that was a
It's
time in
fitting for this
NBA,
show.
man. That was
Fitting
really.
thing. I was like, that is good for this show.
Mhm.
And there's like 6 people out there that get it.
Yeah, fuck, man. That was a moment in time for
Oh,
real.
that's really
Oh
good.
man.
Oh, what's his dumb question?
When the video game crash happens, where will you be and what will you be doing?
Oh, I'll be
Oh,
playing
shit.
mobile
You can get
games on my phone.
Portals on eBay now for $100. I didn't know that.
That's a good deal.
You guys should keep it. Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'll be playing video games. Like the video game crash don't matter. I still got games to play. So
Yeah.
Right. I actually started playing that. What's the NFL one in the Apple Arcade that Donnie always talked about?
Retro Bowl 25.
Yeah. Okay, so I know you've talked
Retro
about it
Bowl's
for a long
amazing.
time. I
love
just
it.
started playing it. I don't know why I haven't been playing it. That shit
See?
is
See?
addicting. Like I started playing it and I was like, fuck. Then I played like 4 games in a row and I was like, I need to relax.
Fucking Retro Bowl is it, man. It is so good.
And the fact that the sim portion isn't overly complex, but it is deep. Like I was like, this is a really good game.
Yeah.
it's cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
Right.
To answer the question, I got to pull up the notes because I'm still going to PlayStation 5. So what are we doing? Where would I be in the video
Just
game
where
crash
will you
happens?
be and what will you be doing when the video game
I'll be
crash
here in
happens?
my basement, surrounded by like every video game ever. Like I've got
Yeah.
my Wii U locked and loaded, 64 is locked and loaded, GameCube's
Right.
locked and loaded, Wii's locked and loaded. I
Emulators
have the
galore.
PlayStation, I got the PC,
Right.
emulators,
We're good.
fucking Ally. Like I'm good. Like I've got it all.
We're
I bought all the
just
games,
fine.
Yeah.
so I'll be fine.
Delvin's
Delvin's
got
playing
gonna
some
be at
old
his house handing discs
PS5s.
back and forth.
Yep. All 4 of his PS5s, his PSVR 2. He's good. He's got it all. He's got an arcade cabinet or 3.
Right.
You know?
Nah.
good.
I will be
did not
clapping
realize that
cheeks.
Portal
You'll be
costs
clapping.
so much in price.
Not even think about video games.
Video game crash happened. I'm
Okay, that's fine.
Uncle Shannon. I'm going on IG Live, clapping these
Yeah.
cheeks.
That's some shit I probably would do by accident. Just accidentally.
Damn. Be like, what's on the Twitch stream? Oh,
Why is that Delvin?
yeah,
What is
yeah.
happening?
It would be on the Talk Studios app. Oh shit! Another episode of PSXP's out there.
yeah,
XP is out here clapping cheeks. What is
yeah. Not in front of grandma's birds.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. That's pretty accurate. Pretty accurate.
Wow. That's something
Oh,
else.
damn.
Yeah.
That had
Lord have
aftershock
mercy.
on me.
Yes.
Whew. Edward Varnell says, I know you will all have your opinions about the PS5 Pro.
Will we?
Will you check out a retail store to see how it looks on a high-end TV or monitor? I know Digital Foundry did a discussion and said that YouTube doesn't present a real idea how games will run on screens.
Fuck no, I'm not a nerd. I'm not going to no goddamn store looking at no PlayStation.
When's the last time you saw a console hooked up to a high-end TV in a store?
That was my thought too. I was like,
It's been
You
a
have to have
long
games
time.
and shit in the store for that. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
I was like, what time,
Outside
what
of
type
the-
time
outside of the
travel life
Switch?
is this?
The closest I've seen, it's not even close at all, is the Ally being hooked up in Best Buy.
Yeah.
That's the one I bought too. I bought that one.
That's the only thing
I
I
walked
see.
in, I was
close
like,
to
give me
that.
that shit.
Like, hey,
I've only ever seen the Switch at Target. Like the Switch has all three models. Like
yeah,
on
the Switch is
display.
always a Target.
Yeah.
The closest I've seen recently was going to the swap meet when they tried to sell you that retro console on a CRT. So no,
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of this.
I also don't need to go see what it looks like on a TV or monitor. I can look at my PlayStation and just tell. Okay. There's no
Eddie's
need.
perfect.
There's no need.
Sean Capri, if you haven't noticed, we shame our people who ask us questions.
Right.
I'm about to buy a PlayStation Portal.
Like, no.
You can get a portal.
You're gonna buy
I
a
think so.
Portal?
I think so.
So you're
But
keeping
you're
your
not, even
PlayStation.
you're not even gonna have a PlayStation. What are you
No,
gonna play
no, no,
on?
so I posted a Discord. There's been an update. So I've checked on Mercari, OfferUp, Facebook, and eBay. The prices on used models, even the OG model, like the OG Slim, they're not good enough to warrant the flip. It's going to be about
Okay.
$300. I'm not going to flip it and do all the work for $100. That is not good enough.
So instead of spending money on a Portal.
I might, because here's the reason. Dude, they're cheap as fuck used. I didn't realize they got so cheap.
They really.
When did they get so
really,
cheap?
Really
You
did.
can get them for 115, 120 bucks. Like what?
Yeah.
Oh.
I saw.
That's nuts.
I saw one on, but I mean, sketchy as hell. But I saw one on OfferUp last night. I think it was like
I wonder
$89.
what GameStop's selling them for.
Because
They sell
I
portals?
am looking for those earbuds, but I'm just like, I don't know. The audio is still weird on there. Like it's
Very.
either screaming at you or really, really quiet. And so I was like,
That's
let me see what
another
these
thing
Sony
about
earbuds
this
are like.
thing. The audio is really good out the speakers on this
Really?
thing. Yeah,
Yes, it
I
is.
was shocked.
Nice.
Hmm.
But the Portal is fucking beautiful. Like I've been finishing up Spider-Man on it.
I kind of just
I
want
got
to buy it for
Inputs
like
clean.
Jack.
Yeah.
like just to mess with it for 120 bucks. Like just mess around with it. See what it's like.
It does what it's supposed to do. Period. Easy.
To make it do what it does.
Yeah.
It do what it do.
Maybe. We'll see.
So Geek to Me Radio says, what 5 things would you rather spend $700 on instead of buying the new PS5 Pro?
Like what is it? Like 8 Wii U's? However many Wii U's was in the graphic? I'll take all those.
Let's see.
100%.
5 things.
Delvin's
huh?
buying horrors. That's what he's doing.
That's the
Delvin is-
answer. Whores.
2 chicks at one time.
Whores.
Yeah,
Damn.
man. I'm doing chicks at one
2
time.
chicks at the
Bad
same
bitches,
time.
Yeah,
man.
man.
Bad
Same
bitches
damn
all
time.
over.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute! I got breaking news
It's
here.
still. Uh-oh.
The Pac-12 is targeting Boise State, Fresno, San Diego, and Colorado State as new members. The Pac-2 looks to expand.
Who?
Right. Nobody.
That's your stuff.
What are we talking about?
Those are your peeps. Those are your people.
They're not here.
Yeah, the graphic for $6.99, you can get 4 brand new Wii U's with games, a hard drive, or a PlayStation 4 Pro. You put a Wii U in every TV in the house. Wii U's for everybody.
Right.
It's like some Oprah on some Wii U. You get a Wii U. Like if you get a Wii U, I'm about it. I'm about that
Drive down
life.
the property value so much.
I'm about that life.
$700 is about 3 King of Diamond strippers.
Yeah.
Jesus.
You could get about 30 lap dances, maybe.
Delvin's like, let me get crack and 10 hoes. Crack and 10 hoes, please.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He's gonna go to the Dominican Republic and get himself a BBL.
I could buy a whole goddamn house in Dominican Republic.
For a PlayStation.
Buy a family.
Oh my God. Not people. Jeez.
Damn!
Buy
Wow.
a whole damn family.
This went somewhere else
Hey,
that
Pablo,
I
you have-
didn't want to follow. Like I didn't want to go there. This was against my will.
hey,
Not on
Pablo,
a
you have a new
9/11.
family now. I'm your new dad.
Wow.
Goodness.
Look at me.
I'm your new
to
poppy.
now. Jesus.
Are you gonna be in DR or in the Haitian side? What side?
Sean says I can literally buy a set of tires for the van for a PS5 Pro.
Yes. You can
Yeah,
buy
$1,000 in Canada.
What is winter? What's that? We don't have that here.
Yeah.
Now you have fire tires. You can run over the molten lava and shit you have to drive through.
We stay home.
The asphalt, your asphalt's so hot you have to have like special tires. The fucking road doesn't melt down the damn road.
They're supposed to 3/4 a pound of weed.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. We could be high.
You get a brick? Can you get a brick, Starts?
Surprise.
Like a whole thing?
Yeah.
You're gonna become Walter White.
He's all, listen, I can get keyed up.
I'm gonna take that brick. I'm gonna cut it down and flip it for more bricks.
Right.
Dude, I told you guys, I got some stuff.
He's over here
At the shop last week. That shit is for real. I was feeling it for like days. I was like I woke up the next day and was like, I'm glad I'm off because I should not think on work.
Donnie was the definition of smacked.
Yeah.
I was looking around, I was like, wow, that was a lot stronger than I thought it'd be. The guy warned me. He did warn me. He was like, listen to me. If you have any plans, don't.
Cancel.
That's what he said to me. He's like, if you have any plans, don't. Just don't.
Donnie was out here like the weekend. I can't feel my face when I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I love it.
More than you know. More than you know, sir.
God damn. Was there a question?
I'm buying shoes. $700. What are you doing?
Does it get you like one shoe?
Not like 4 or 5 pairs
one
of shoes.
fucking Jordan.
one Yeezy.
Yeezy. Ugh, absolutely not.
Arpo.
Nikes all day, getting a bunch of dunks.
Just mad
A
Crocs.
bunch? Are you getting a bunch of dunks?
No,
Yeah.
a couple.
You're getting like 2 dunks.
No,
You're getting a layup.
$700.
To be honest, for $700, you're getting a layup. You're not getting dunks like you're getting.
Getting a jumper.
Dunks, not Jordans.
Yeah, absolutely not. What's the, maybe on the WNBA dunk, maybe, but not the real legit shit.
I want them Sabrina ones. Those is fresh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Sabrina ones are fresh.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah, same either.
Yeah, I like them.
Rock was not on the shoot, so.
Free to Play Joe says, "What the is PlayStation thinking? Not even a disc drive. No, thank you. That's not a question.
That is correct.
That is
They are thinking about making money.
Well, no, just start with what? What are they thinking? They're thinking making money.
Yeah, that is a question.
Yeah.
Delvin, can we get the Mr. Krabs?
I like money.
Really good.
SpongeBob, me boyo.
They're thinking. I mean, look, they don't lie to you. They're thinking Hiroki, Tataki, whatever. He said it. They're thinking margins. That's what they're thinking about. They're thinking margins.
Drew says, are any of you planning to get the Pro? I think a lot of people are going to get one once the GTA game starts being shown off.
Absolutely not. Not even a little bit.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to get one. Got a plan.
It lost me so hard when they were like, if you buy this and you zoom in, you can see the trees. I was like,
yeah. I'm going to play GTA 6 on the Switch too.
Yeah, there you go. Hey.
And this, it would be interesting to see what GTA actually does. Like, if the Pro could do it at like 4K 60, that'd be amazing. I don't expect that it will. And I expect that the consoles will probably be able to do like some sort of 4K 30, which makes me hope that we have a 1080 60 option, because that's how I would probably like to play it. I'd rather turn all that shit off so I can play it, quickly. Like, I want it to be smooth and fast, like it's supposed to be.
I'll let you know how good it is on my Pro.
Thanks, because I may wait for a PC.
Yeah.
I know nobody believes me, but I have an out, and my out is Haley Pass.
There you
I
go.
play that shit for free until PC shows up.
Right.
Yep.
So,
all right, shifting gears completely. June Dub says, well, folks, I've closed up shop. I'm retired from the baby making business. Gaming wise, I'm looking forward to resting, recovery, and getting through some of these damn games. My question is, have any of you gentlemen ever had a vasectomy or had a procedure that you never thought you'd experience when you were younger?
time to drop trial, boys.
I've had a vasectomy.
Same.
We closed up shop. Said nah. Now I can shoot the club up and not have to worry about nothing.
Right, exactly, man.
Yeah.
I love in those guts freely.
Yep. It's easy.
Done.
I like the scares.
I do that anyway. I'm here for the drama.
I'm here for the scares. I'm here for the
buy families, so no surprises there.
I'm here for the. I miss my periods. Like that mean I can still swim, baby.
Delvin's post-nut clarity is way different. He's just like, oh shit.
Oh shit. Yeah. Might have happened.
Yeah.
I'm too old for this.
Yeah.
Right?
This fool's about to be a 54-year-old dad. Real
Yep.
sick roll.
Mm-hmm. Like roll.
Yeah.
Yep.
See Dave?
Yeah.
He's got his baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
No.
Shop
zero.
is closed.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Done.
It's a weekend procedure. You're done. You're good. Get some peas, throw them on your nuts, and keep it pushing.
No,
Right.
I like to keep my stuff genuine. The original parts.
Yeah. Like the original formula.
Yeah, original formula.
I'm with you. I'm on Team Delvin. Yeah, I do all that shit Chaufie does. I do all that anyway. So best of both worlds.
Look,
I'm not landing with a fucking. You're not getting anywhere with a knife near my dick.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
absolutely not.
Look, the original method still work out, baby.
Yeah.
Just plotting time.
Yeah. I'm good.
It's about discipline and self-control. All right. Every time is an exercise.
I don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, just plotting time. I'm going to face and going to face.
I didn't even want
Wow.
No problem.
Wow.
show title.
Damn.
Look, this PSG
June
is dark.
June Dove's with an extra. He says, I had to, bro. My pullout game is weak.
Dude, know about to have the Waltons.
He's like, listen, I got mad kids in the house. It needs to stop.
I can't be trusted.
Sean Capri's got the best one.
Man.
PS5 Pro is nothing compared to 18
Save me
years. Facts
from myself.
Yes.
Doc, save me from help me.
Help me, Doc. Help me.
This show has been great.
He said I made bad
It has been
decisions.
This show has been super fucking fun.
The first few kids was cool. The last couple, I don't know.
I can't be trusted, Doc. Listen, there's so many women. I need help, please.
I can't be stopped. I'm just like a faucet that's on.
Yeah, do you know how many PS5 Pros that is?
All of them.
That's so many
All of them.
PS5 Pros. Holy shit.
Exactly.
But listen, Doc, the PS5's Pro coming out. I need to get my money up.
Seriously. I'm paying for too many of these damn kids.
This is the best PS5 Pro podcast on the internet. 100%.
Exactly.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
We gave a different infographic.
Yes.
We also did advocating for vasectomies and abstinence. You want a PS Pro?
We.
Don't have kids?
We. I advocate for shit.
Yeah, don't speak for me.
Abstinence.
No, I'm saying
Abstinence
we're
is not a
just
thing
saying
happening
you
around
can
here.
make some choices. You can get a PS5 Pro or you can have these kids. Either way, it's up to you.
But see, I can take my sperm to the sperm bank, make some cash to get a PS5 Pro.
Oh my god, you may have to. It's $699.99. Hang on. That's the math I want to do.
Okay.
Fuck how many switches is a PS5 Pro. I want to know how many sessions is a PS5. What's that math?
Like, yo,
When
Is it like
Delvin-
12? Is it 50? I have no idea. What's the rates these days? What's the exchange rate?
this is the sixth time you've been here this week now. I need a PS5.
Delvin's gonna walk up to the sperm bank with the
He starts
bucket
wearing
from the
disguises.
fried rice bucket just full of nut.
Here's the bucket.
God damn.
bucket.
Chaufie, look. What?
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
See, Snow's got a good idea. Child crack tax credit. There you go. Playing somebody else's kids. let me hold your kids, baby, for a PS5 Pro.
I had visions of Delvin walks in, he comes back fake nose, comes back fake mustache, comes back hat. Like
Seriously.
he just got different personas.
Stop.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whew, only in Florida.
That got real crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Smoking Joe says, will the sales numbers for the PS5 influence the price point of the Switch 2?
No.
No.
I don't think so, Tim. I don't think. I just laughed at his question when he posted. I was like, absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry,
They're
Joe.
not even on
Smokeless.
speaking
You're back to Smokeless Joseph. You no longer get to be Smokeless.
Two different audiences.
Smokeless Joseph. That's who you are, sir.
Currently, you are smoking.
Yeah. Smoking something.
You went on that 3 pounds of weed.
Yeah.
3/4 pound.
B-Mock says, how much can we trade Delvin in for so we can all share a PS5 Pro?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I mean, what was Delvin worth on the street?
He was about to
Delvin around.
When I go to the sperm bank, we'll find out.
Find out. We will find out.
We will find out soon enough.
He's worth a couple of Lucy's.
We will find out the market value soon enough.
Wow.
I'm going to come in here with a PS5 Pro and dehydrated.
Couple Lucy's, a damaged cup of soup.
Damn it, have you lost weight?
Been baiting.
He got like one of those like wrist guards on. He's just like, oh,
Not a wrist guard.
They're like, oh, you been skating? Something like that.
Something like that.
No cocoa butter to be found across the city.
Nope. Coming here in a wheelchair. Just wheels on top of it.
Oh.
He did it till he was blind, sir.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But I got a PS5 Pro.
We thought that was just a rumor.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, Lord. Whew. Moving on.
Yeah.
TPR says, will you be down for a Pixar Astrobot film? Why or why not?
No, because they're going to make Chris Pratt Astrobot.
Because it's going to have Jack Black.
Chris Pratt and Jack Black. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I'd watch it. I'd take my kids to it for sure. I'd be down
If
for
Pixar makes it, it'd be great.
Form. Yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
They should have put that in the fucking Amazon show instead of Concord.
Yeah.
We're really about to watch an episode TV about a video game that's already dead.
Yeah.
Like video game
That game didn't even make it to the show.
They
The
made
sad part is probably going to be great as an episode.
Yeah,
made
watch
the
that.
game for the show.
Maybe that'll be where they'll relaunch it. People are like, give us Concord back. That'd be amazing. How hilarious would that be?
Fantastic.
They're like, the characters are so
4K60
good.
on PS5 Pro.
Yep.
Let's see. Six Wheels says, what villain would you give a proper origin story to? What?
What villain?
Delvin the Nut Bandit.
Yeah. Perfect villain.
Get off the
You just heard my supervillain origin story. Trying to get a PS5 Pro.
Stop doing this. He was driven to madness.
They said $6.99.
PlayStation was a yeah.
And somehow this thing getting played more serious ass.
They're not
They
born
told
bad.
Yeah.
They're turned bad.
In a stroke of genius.
By any means necessary.
Came upon a great idea.
Emphasis on game.
He's at the door just banging on the door.
Wow,
Please, let me in. I got another one in me. I'm telling you.
I did the math. I'm good for it.
This is fucking Seinfeld shit. My stuff is primo. It's primo, I tell you. Doctor's like, it's watered down.
Yeah.
You're shooting blanks.
Man.
Get a hold of yourself. It's like some drug
Nothing left in the tank.
some drug copy getting.
Yep.
I used to be somebody. It's like all half shaven.
Yep.
Time to nut up.
You said you need to hydrate. Oh, that's a great tagline.
Mm-hmm.
Great bad boy.
Shut up. Let it grip up or clip up.
You guys are the superhero fans. I don't know.
They all have villain origin stories, so I don't have an answer for this.
Yeah, we just created one.
Yeah, we got one. McNutt.
Yeah.
Delvin McNutt.
The best part is gonna be like 20 years from now, when all these kids from different races just show up looking like me. A bunch of Asian and Mexican Delvins.
This shit is off the rails.
The Rainbow Coalition.
It was never on the rails.
Yeah. What rails? Does this even have rails?
Yeah.
God damn.
And that just leads right into this. Delvin, who are you romancing in Dragon Age Veilguard?
All of them.
That was exactly what
Every
I
last one of
expected
them.
you to say.
Just raw dog and dragons and everything.
Yep, the dragon suit.
Dragons, bears,
Like,
lions, and tigers. Oh my!
The fucking
You named
koalas.
he's like, it's got a hole. I'm in it.
Yep. Facts.
Keyholes down.
Yep. Can't even get to the
Portholes.
door.
Tree holes.
Tree holes. Manhole.
Oh man!
Yeah.
There's a character in
Don't
The
say
Boys
manhole.
that actually does
Whoa.
Yo.
That's a whole new meaning.
Oh god! Woo!
This is a solid ending. Very.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So to bring it back to real life here, Sleepy Gamer. He says, so unfortunately, I'm getting a divorce.
Dang.
But this means I can gift myself something that I probably wouldn't have gotten if I was married. What would be an epic gift to give to myself?
Oh,
New pussy
PS5 Pro.
Chicks at the same time, man.
At the same time, man.
There you go. There
New
you
pussy.
go.
That's
Two
what,
Right?
chicks at the same time.
Yeah.
I'd tell you what I'd do.
yeah. see?
Two chicks at the same time is what I'd do, brother.
Hey. Yeah. That's facts.
Sleeping in the middle of the bed every day.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
And you know what happens in the middle of the bed?
That's why. That's
Yep.
that
why.
happens.
Like
So what's
I
your
told-
what's your splurge? What's your midlife?
I told Sleepy Gamer offline that it seems rough now, but you finna have some the most fun you ever had in your life, boy. Because it's just the whole process of just finding yourself and who you are now, as opposed to who you were when you were married. And that's kind of what I experienced, just like, oh, I can live my life and be who I want to be now. I don't have to follow these arbitrary rules.
Were you not doing that before?
Absolutely not.
Those are my questions when everybody goes on a quest to find themselves. I think it's like the most bullshit thing I ever hear.
Absolutely
I'm gonna go
not.
find myself. It's like, where were you? Were you lost?
Kinda.
Donnie, you've been blessed to just be able to be yourself all the time.
Yes.
Exactly.
Apparently,
Everybody has
yeah. Like this never equate. I'm like, what are y'all out here doing?
Because look, I got married when I was young, and I didn't know
Same.
shit. So now that after I got divorced, I'm like learning a lot about myself and things that I like, and I learned how to say no. If I don't like some shit, I'm like, no, I ain't doing that. Fuck that. And if I don't like a girl, I'm like, no, we just don't need to be together. Peace out. So I'm living like you, Donnie.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
Donnie
like,
was,
yeah,
Donnie
yeah,
was
I
living
was
like that from
that's
jump.
just me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I was that. This is just me. I will echo what you're saying. I was divorced and remarried, and
Like a
so
week.
I've gone to not a week, but definitely
We were on a break.
You saw some bad last year, like, hey, we divorced.
no, it wasn't me. Trust me, I went through it.
Oh.
I had to do the whole legal thing and get the own apartment and weekends. It wasn't fun. I'm glad it wasn't the rest of my life. It is nice if you've never had it. Like I also married young. I have no idea if this applies to Sleepy Game or not. I married young, and it is nice to have your independence. I'll tell you that the second go around. So if you're open to it, I don't know if it's going through it right now, you may be like never again. And if you are that way, I understand it. Like, I think everybody is. Like, that's natural. Don't feel bad. But eventually, I hope that you open yourself up to new opportunities. And I would tell you that on the second try, the second go around, I did many more things differently the way that I wanted to. Took full control of the situation. And I definitely think it was better for it. It's more memorable. It means more. And like in all aspects, in living decisions, in location, and like even my second wedding was a million times better than the first. Like it's bar none, not even close, you know? So there are things to look forward to, but I do know Brendan's got a little girl, right? He's got a little kid. And so that's got to be your priority, man. That's got to be your focus number one.
Yep.
So splurge, have fun, but make sure you don't drop 1 ounce of ball. Like just put all that energy there. And then let everything else just fall where it lays. Like it'll happen. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine.
It will.
We're here for you. I fucking buy an old muscle car. Like that. Like I'm just giving you that. Like go nuts. You're looking to do something crazy. Do that.
Go on a trip.
It'd be an old muscle car. Buy a car that you love.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a brand new car. Whatever. Buy a car that you love. Everybody should have a car that they love to drive. As I always tell Sean, buy a car you want to fix. Buy something you want to fix. Like you love it so much, you're like, if it breaks, you're like, I can't wait to fix it. Buy that car. You'll get so much more enjoyment out of it than just a car.
Yeah. One of the things I did was I went on a vacation. I started going on vacations by myself just to have fun.
Good one.
And I did one of the things I did was my friends were like, hey, my friends from high school were like, we're going to North Carolina to watch a Heat game. I'm like, we can watch a Heat game? They're like, no, let's go to North Carolina to watch a Heat game. And we had so much fun. Just in another state I'd never been to before, going to a Heat game, just hanging out, seeing sights I never saw. Just such a blast. Just living life. Do something that's going to make you happy. That's the key.
Yep. Yeah, I would definitely echo that and say travel. I haven't been through divorce, so I can't speak on that. I've been very lucky. I also got married hella young, but our shit has worked. I've been very blessed there, so I can't speak to that. I know you're going through it. I know it's not easy, so just keep trucking. But yeah, do things that you normally would not have done in your marriage that you really wanted to do. Find something that you were like, I really want to do this, but I can't because of whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, if that's it, do it. Ain't nobody saying don't do that. No. But yeah, do something that you normally would not have wouldn't have done because of, whatever the situation was in your marriage. Go find something that just brings you joy.
And I think just in all of those, like, as they're saying, like, do something for yourself, do something by yourself. Like, get good with you. Like, this is what I like to do. Go to a movie, go to a show, go to
I'm not going to lie to you. That's the thing I miss the most. The thing that I missed the most from those 2 years was having my own place. Literally, I mean, alone.
Yeah.
God, I miss the peace.
Everything
was clean. That. Everything was like, it was quiet. Like it was, I miss that more than anything.
1,000%. I used to have Mondays off. And it was great. There was nobody in the house. It was quiet. Yeah. Oh, it was lovely.
I'll tell you, and I don't know. Up to that point, I had never lived alone, right? Because I got married young, so I was always either with foster care, with my mom, or Melissa and I lived together. And that was the first time I was ever on my own. I think the first 2 months were really tough. Like I really struggled. Like I think it was the last place I wanted to be, was just alone, like in my thoughts, like there.
Yeah.
And then over time, eventually, this is my favorite place to be. I couldn't wait to like just fucking go home, and like shut the door and just have my own little time. It was great.
Yeah,
it was really great.
It really is. Mm-hmm. I appreciate those moments now. Like I'm by myself. That's good.
Yep.
I'd also, again, not knowing your situation, but if it's doable and you're interested, I'd also pitch the idea: get a dog, get a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity. You've got time. It's nice to be wanted, to be cared for. And it helps. But I'm an animal person. I don't know if everybody feels that way, but you guys seen? I got a shit ton of animals.
Should have saw me a couple months ago. I had like 600 cats. Could have had one of those.
Yeah.
Where are the cats?
He killed them.
Everywhere.
You didn't hear Trump? You didn't hear Trump last night?
Delvin ate them.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Where's the bird, Delvin?
Bird's okay. Still trying to get rid of that fucker.
The bird is okay.
Did you feed the cats to the bird?
That wasn't a bad idea.
He refused. He refused to answer Rebecca when she asked where the cats were. He was like, "They're in a good place."
They're in a good place.
Damn.
He was like, "Did you take him to a farm?" He was like, "Something like that."
They crossed the
You can
rainbow
call-
bridge.
You can call it a farm.
They're with Jesus. They're with Jesus.
Aren't we all just in a farm, Rebecca?
Yeah.
Like, it was like some shady ass sidestep that she didn't get. Oh, by the way, did you listen to Shaq Dev?
I pulled the Trump.
I went hard for you.
He did.
I gave Rebecca a piece of her own medicine for you.
Yeah.
I did. I would 100%. I was waiting for Shaq. I wanted to do it on Shaq. She was giving you shit for not liking Astro.
Mm-hmm.
She did the same thing when Wonder came out. The same thing. And you can tell when I start it, she gets mad. And as I keep going, you can see her the smile comes. She's like, "Shit, he's got me."
Yep. It was great.
Oh, now I gotta listen to it. I gotta watch it. Actually, I have to watch that one.
Yeah. Her facial expression was great. I thought it was a great clippable moment.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, "I've got you. I got you."
Excellent. All right, we're gonna wrap this up right now. Thank you, Chaufie, for joining us on this wonderful episode.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it's been a fun time. We went all over the place. This was a fun show, fellas. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So until next time, do two chicks at the same time.
Nice.
Goddamn right.
Nobody's sleeping in the middle of the bed. The middle of the bed is only where you do the business. But when everybody's ready to sleep, it's the side of the bed that can't be beat. It's the middle of the bed where lovers meet. But when it comes time to slumber, it's the edges. Ooh, 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 the edges.